Known for its sparkling granite buildings, long beaches and cosmopolitan nightlife, Aberdeen has been home to the Scottish Junior Championship finals for the past 10 years, and we're now just moments away from the men's final of 2019 between Team White and Team Kinnear. Thanks very much for joining us on this live stream. May I introduce your commentary team. I'm David Ramsey, Pathway Manager for Scottish Curling, and I'm joined by Robin Bryden, Curling Development Officer for Glentross, and for approximately 2.5 hours, still the remaining Scottish Junior Champion. Welcome, Robin.
Lovely to be here. Pleasure to be here. As we watch the screen just now, we're seeing the teams just get piped on, ready for this final. Set to be an exciting game, I think. Rambo, what do you think?
A very exciting game. Ross has dominated the round robin, going unbeaten. Callum's fought his way back into the final after a very close semi against Gallagher team this morning. So these guys know each other really well. In fact, they've played together in different lineups. So I think they know each other's games really well. Ross probably a slight favourite with his record.
I would have thought so. Unbeaten into the final, you'd put him as a favourite, I would say.
I think that's right. And of course on the other sheet we have the ladies' final between Lisa Davies' team and Amy Bryce's team. So we'll keep you posted throughout the transmission of the men on the scoreline over there. That'll be of great interest to many of you as well. I think we're guaranteed a new winner in the girls. Did you not say that to me?
I think we are, yes, because there's no remaining champions from the previous year.
Exactly. So, and of course the big prize for both these teams, Robin, is a World Junior in Canada.
Liverpool, Nova Scotia.
And Liverpool, Nova Scotia. So huge carrot for them.
Just seen the teams being announced out there.
There's Ross White, skipper Team White, waving to us all.
It's a very nice jacket they've got there, I have to say.
I like the tartan actually, guys. I frankly couldn't care less what they look like, but they're very choosy. So, handshakes before the game, big tradition in curling. We'll see the same at the end of the game, no matter who wins or loses. And let's see a well-fought game and played in good spirit. The guys know each other really well. Now, let me introduce you to the teams, and I'm going to start with Team Kinnear. So, Team Kinnear, skipped by Callum Kinnear, who's 19 years old, curled for 10 years. He's an apprentice electrician in his third year, and with Dave Peebles Electrical Company, who give him remarkable time off. So a big shout out for Dave and his company, because it makes a big difference to the sport we can give. At third, Luke Carson's 21, 11 years curled, fourth year chemical engineering at Strathclyde, and again Strathclyde make a big difference in allowing him to play. Ryan McCormick at 2 is 19, 9 years curled, chemical engineering at Strathclyde again. And then Matthew McKenzie, who's the young boy in the team, 17, curled for 6 years, and he's a plumbing apprenticeship. And they're coached by Craig Waddle, who's a new and upcoming young coach in the academy. He's still got a bit to learn, although he'll tell you he's the top coach in Scotland, but we'll keep working with him. So he's working with me in tech and team coaching. And I'll get Robin to introduce Team White.
So we've got Skip, Ross White. He's 20 years old, 14 years curled. So started at the age of 6, Rambo. Age of 6. He's a sports student, sports studies at Stirling. He's a British curling funded athlete as an individual. At third we have Duncan McFadgen, 19, 10 years curled, SRUC Rural Management, and he's an academy athlete. Second, James Craik, 17, just a young guy, 10 years curled, business management at Stirling. I think he's going to be starting next year.
Starting next year.
And he's also an academy funded athlete. And at lead, Ewan Kyle, 21, this is last year in juniors. 12 years curled, and he's a lifeguard in Stranraer, and the moment is unsupported. They are skipped by
coached
by Greg Drummond, Olympic silver medalist, quite a well-known curler. And he's also a BC coach, a British curling coach.
Yeah, and it's great to have his support for the team, so we're grateful to British Curling for providing that support. And Greg, should they win, will go to the World Junior with them, which will be great. So, 10 end games, Robin. Extra end if needed. 1 time out. 5-minute break at half time. 38 minutes thinking time. talk the viewers through thinking time for those that might not be familiar.
Yeah, so thinking time is the time it takes for your skip to kind of make a decision, or your team to make a decision, and for you to cross the tee line of the house. The stone will come to rest, and then the opposition's clock will start. 38 minutes of thinking time is, usually plenty of time to complete the game. You do get your 1 minute timeout. As we mentioned this morning, if you were tuning into the semi-final this morning, you really need to use that timeout quite wisely and play at the right time, maybe earlier than what you would think you would usually use it.
Yeah, and just so the viewers know, because Team White topped the round robin, they had the choice of hammer or colour. They chose to take the hammer, and Callum Kinnear's team then chose to take the red stones from sheet C to play. They've had a choice of stones from the sheets they've played all week, and Callum chose the reds from C. And we've had the first few stones at the end. Looks like a good start, good setup from Matthew. So tight centre, goes round it, and quite a long corner guard from Team White, Robin.
Yeah, not quite ideal where that one's going to be. With the amount of curl we've had in the ice this week, it's you want that one tighter to the rings. Just means you can't really get around it at much weight. But good setup from Team Kinnear to start off. See an aggressive end to start. Probably see Ewan come down here and try and freeze this. Freeze being just coming up to the stone that's in play, and so not bumping it.
Just curling up next to the stone you're aiming at, not bumping it back, just lying right on the top of it. And that's what they're trying to do, and Judd's sweeping to do that now, and it looks close. And there's an excellent freeze. So that stone's got stone behind it backing and a stone in front of it as a guard. So tough to remove. Callum's going to try and freeze on top of that.
Yeah, we'll just see for a battle of angles for the first few stones here. Try and get one up another team. Try and make it tough for the opposition. You might see them try and clear things out if it doesn't really start to sit too well with a certain team.
So Ryan McCart, a little wobble from Ryan. Managed to control the line, though. He's trying to communicate with the players that the line's high, probably, so the line is wide of the guard he's trying to go around, so they're trying to communicate to the sweepers when it needs sweep, and Matthew and Luke ready to go if needed. So the front two mainly sweeping for the weight of the stone, and the skip and the player helping them with the line call, so they should communicate both of those things. And
just bumped and rolled off there. It's not really a great spot there they've left themselves in. Obviously Ross trying to freeze the pocket.
Just checking how much of that stone they can see round the guard, which might influence what he picks. But you're right, I think he's going for a flop, is he, Roman? Just tapping back one of the reds to flop on the face of the
looks as though he's trying to kill it with just the ice he's given. The ice he's given him.
Taking
hack weight and try and
taking a
roll on
little
top.
more, yeah, taking a little more there. Player might have had an influence on that. So clockwise rotation from Jamesy. Ewan's ready to go. Look, see how alert they are. Ready to go. Ready to sweep if called. Put Duncan on now to try and curl it in behind the guard. It's an excellent stone by
Super
James.
shot.
Excellent stone.
Well
Beautiful
controlled with the
weight.
sweepers as well.
And really good weight judgment. First end, never just sure.
It's always good to get that first stone out of the way as well. Get the first one away and just settle you a
James
bit.
is the least experienced of them all, but he's got guys with great experience around him, so I'm sure they'll be working that. And I know Greg told me he'd been speaking to Ewan especially about a leadership role for Ewan and helping Jamesy through this. So Greg's already had major interventions with his team that'll, I'm sure, serve them well.
Well, Ewan and Ross have both won this game before. Ewan won it, obviously, 2-time Scottish Junior champion the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Ross winning it last year, so
And both
they've
been
got-
to World Junior
they
too,
have.
with you, of course.
Yep. But got a lot to play, big part to play in this game, I think.
Ryan's not happy.
I think he was just trying to come past and bump the yellow there.
He
Just
was.
tight and tick the guard.
So see what Ross thinks now. Oh.
I mean, at the moment those yellows are pretty set up for a double if they don't move them. Try and get another yellow in a good spot.
He's definitely using his corners, which is he's developed that game hugely since we first met him. You know, he used to play a lot around centres. He now has a lot of width to his game, a lot of variety to his game, and he's progressing rapidly. And really good result in Perth Masters recently for a young team. And
Yeah, I mean, straight through an A-road in the field of as strong as Perth Masters and make the quarter final is absolutely fantastic.
And of course, they had a bit of experience in Canada at the start of the year as a British curling team.
They did. They supported it kind of partly through themselves and tried to go out there and
Oakville, I think they went to, didn't they, in the season?
Both Oakville competitions, I think it was.
Yeah.
Tried to get some points early and some experience early. Obviously, a brand new team put together.
Brand new. We'll talk about that in a minute, actually, because an interesting team lineups from the end of last season into this season.
Boys are working this one hard just to get into the rings.
Moving big. Great ice. Moving big.
It's a big carry from the two sweepers there. Don't think it's quite managed.
Red still beats it. So what's Callum thinking? I think he has to move a yellow, doesn't he? He's running a risk with them having the hammer of a big end. So can he take the double, leave his own red lying?
I think it depends on what weight he plays and where he just manages to catch it. If you can get right in the pocket, you're pretty close.
Fine judgment of sweeping. Here's Luke Carson, who's big weight specialist. Down the centre, looks like he's missing the top yellow, and he gets it on the rebound. I think the red still beats both yellows on the wing, so the red lies two. But there is a double. There's a double. This is the one. Remember last year's final when Ross took out a big three? Remember that?
I do remember that. I mean, I was standing on the head when it was played.
I was coaching against you. I was distraught. But you pinched a big three with a big shot across the rings.
Yeah, you don't forget shots like that.
I didn't.
Looks pretty close.
Oh. Lie two yellows, I think yellow lie two, but yeah, I think two.
Pretty good spot there around the corner guard.
Yeah, we just can't quite see the corner guard in the shot, so it's difficult. I think there's a great view. What a marvellous cameraman we have. There's a great view. Now you can see everything I can see. I don't think I should have called you a cameraman, so probably I should have called you floor manager or something. Much more highfalutin.
What do you think? It's quite a tough one to play here.
Yeah, it's actually tough to know. He can hit the middle yellow, I think.
Just roll away.
But he rolls out then. And then Ross capitalises because he's with hammer. This is the big difference. Ross is hammer. And which means he has the last stone at the end. For those of you not familiar, we'll use terminology. We'll try to explain it if we do it for those of you not so familiar with the game. So clockwise draw from Luke, trying to go over to that same side, in behind the yellows.
Not an easy shot to play.
Lots of rotation on it. Lots of rotation on it.
First end of a game, not an easy one to play out to the wing here. Got to make sure the line's shot.
Oh, it flicks the yellow. Didn't seem to panel that all the way down either. I wonder if they just misjudged that sweep.
Team might get the rolling behind here. They're really set on for a three early on.
It's looking good, and it probably just comes from Ryan hitting the centre guard.
Duncan McFadden with his last stone in the first end.
Trying to hit the red and roll right, you think, Robin, in behind the yellows?
Yeah, that was the call.
Nails it.
Pretty good shot there from Duncan.
Nails it. Now they maybe have to play something on that side. I don't know what they can see. If we can see that long view again, we can share what we can see. There you go.
Just like magic.
Can you move those two yellows, Robin? You can.
Pretty tough shot. If you ever flick the top
one. You flick the top one, you're in bother. Yellow lie 3 now.
Could you ever come in on the end turn, the way Callum was there?
You could try, but if you don't make it, you're losing a 5.
I think any shot he's really got is kind of got an element of danger to it. So
I think you can double those two yellows. I don't know if you can. You probably can, but you'd have to hit pretty thin and pretty hard. Do you think the red is force shot?
I think it beats the one, just the yellow behind the tee line there.
Yeah, that's the only one it beats. Bit of concern from the front end.
Big shot here from Callum. Bails team out in the first end.
Now he's seen it from the far end. It sometimes looks a bit different when you get down there. So, looks like a change of shot. No. This is where the sweeping call could be really important. So the guys will be absolutely ready to pounce if called.
On and off with the sweeping.
Yeah, just gets rid of one.
You've done about as good as you could have done with that one.
Yeah, it was tough. You had to get it. I don't know if you could take the double because you were taking it across the face and had to get it really thin. But I think they lie too.
So if you're Ross, you come in the other corner guard.
He's having a close look. It's tough to tell from the overhead angle. But they're having. I think he lies too.
Come around the other corner now and just try and draw the play away a wee bit.
Yeah, split up your stones. Try and go level with that top 6 foot Robin, level with the other yellow, so there's no double.
Ross has a rush going down for back 8. Try and take it deep as possible.
Deep, right, okay. You think that leaves the double?
Might tempt Callum with the double.
You don't want to. Callum's now got a hit and roll off that yellow in the other way. Depends where you go. You need to. Any hit and roll Callum plays you want to beat, so he's going to be fully in the 8 foot, isn't it? Even the edge of buttons, even the edge of 4 foot's okay. Left hand side. Yeah, Ross looks down a little bit as he slides, eh? So players have different habits. Ross tends to just glance down and then look up again at the target. Sven Michel does it. 1 or 2 players do it.
If it helps you make shots, then
sure,
that's what you do.
Boys are trying to get it. Yeah, well,
it's a double there.
I think the double's there, and you miss the red if you try it. And yeah, and that's the shot I was meaning. If he plays that, maybe limits Ross to 2. I think they lie 3, don't they?
Looks close to me.
So Carl's trying to work out how you can limit the damage, frankly, now. Can you limit them to a 2, which would be a pretty good result from the end as it's gone for them.
He's going for the rolling behind the corner. Called barrier anyway.
Hit and roll.
So what does barrier mean, Robin?
Barrier weight, just enough weight for the stone to travel down the back, hit the backboard and probably bounce.
So
5 to 6 feet.
Bumper in Canada, barrier in Scotland. So it's just a mid-weight strike, really.
Hard! Hard! Hard roll! Hard Ryan! Hard!
So
just a nose hit.
Open hit for
at least 2.
We think 3. Do we? Probably be measured, but looks like it could be 3 if Ross makes this. And a big fast start for them.
Comment from Callum there, just saying you need to screw the nut a bit if he misses and going to get punished for it.
Yeah,
a slow start in the first
boys
end.
aren't deliberately missing, but yeah, I don't think it'd be lack of concentration, just be tense, nervousness a wee bit.
I think we're going to get a measure, Ian.
We're going to get a measure.
Ewan working as hard for the curl.
He's going hard. It's good, so it's for sure it's 2. We've even got Alistair Caithness is tuned in from California. So we're live streaming to all continents. So we're going to see a measure now, so we'll bring out a mechanical device that they will rotate round the circles and see which of these 2 stones is near the middle. And for some of you who are maybe not familiar with curling, you score by having as more of your stones nearer the middle than any of the opposition. So Ross has already had 2 that were clearly nearer the middle, and we're going to measure and see if this yellow one is nearer the middle than the red. If so, he will score 3.
Just while waiting on the measure, just to give you an update on the girls' game after the first end, Bryce started with the hammer and managed to convert the hammer, scoring 2. So that's 2-0 after the first end there.
So both hammer teams capitalised on that advantage.
Did. Interesting enough, it's both teams that, you know, didn't play a game this morning.
No.
Coming out strong.
No, won the 1-2s, went through. Had a practice this morning.
They did.
Had some practice ice. Allowed them to work on a few things maybe. So we'll find out soon enough what happened.
It was the yellow.
So 3. The umpires will put the score up. We think it's 3.
It was 3.
And it's a big, strong start. And now, it's interesting that this morning we saw a quick 2 and we talked about what does Callum do now? Does Callum go really aggressive, or does he? And he has to be patient, we think, not go mad to try and claw this back right away.
I think you'll find that they got plenty of time to come back, you know, another 9 ends to go.
Exactly.
I think Ross will try hard to get the force here, if he can.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we'll see a slightly different call. Ross has called top 4 here, but I think Callum might throw the corner just as a.
So when
just to see what
Robin
happens.
describes Ross getting a force means that you force the opposition to only score 1 point when they have the hammer, which means the hammer reverts to you at the next end and you have the opportunity to score 2 or more, which normally is easier when you have the hammer. So Ross is probably going to go aggressively and try to force Callum to 1, so he gets the hammer back and has a 2-shot advantage. So top 4, look at the focus on getting that perfectly top 4. That's what I like to see. Sweepers committing to their lead stones. You've got to commit to everybody's stones. Lead stones are so important. Callum's going corner. Now we saw a different approach from the girls. They hit that, remember, this morning. Callum's going more aggressive.
I don't mind the call.
Matthew has to get this as a corner.
Right, hard.
And this is in the rings.
Hard.
And that is a real big problem now for Kinnear, because they cannot set this end up as they'd like now. Ross will hit that lie to forces on from the word go, Robin.
Yeah, not a kind of slack one there, after having such a good setup in the first end as well. It's maybe not a bad thing, you know, from the tactic we've seen this morning, just running the end through.
Well,
if you've had a bit of a ropey first end,
it might work in Kinnear's favour. They may have to run it now and get settled in more and then go again. And that actually makes it easier for them to do so now, because they can blast this now. Is he going corner again? Well, he's certainly taking it on, man.
makes for exciting viewing, Rambo. I won't be complaining.
I didn't say I was complaining. You'll know when I'm complaining. This has got to pull a lot. This has got to pull a lot. This has got to pull a lot. Needs it as wide as possible. So into the logo is good. Good shot. That's what he tried to do. His first, just a bit heavy. That can't be taken out of play, Robin, because it's a 5 rock free guard zone, so only the 6 stone of play can start to hit things out the free guard zone. Makes the possibility of a lot of stones being in play. It makes it harder to stay ahead in the game. When you get a lead, it's harder to defend it, because the opposition can always set stuff up, should they so choose.
The corner guard's not a bad call there, where those yellows are set up. You know, that top one can easily be bumped back and leave a pocket there to try and generate a 2 or more.
So you need a bit of power in your team, and they certainly are capable of moving all these 3 stones and rolling.
It's coming a bit deep. You would have looked for that one to be a bit short than that.
It's a good line-up, but the length is too deep. The important thing about this next shot, I think, is that the red hangs about. We can't roll out on this. You have to lie about. if you don't take a double, but you have to lie about.
Close.
So Ryan McCormack,
Looks like quite a front buyer.
clockwise, big rotation too, won't draw as much. Moving now. Sharp boy, good shot. Double and lies.
I think it's important now to make sure if you're Ross White that you're sticking the shooters really.
Well, he's asked for hack weight there, interestingly, because if he keeps lying, they struggle to use the corner. Taking a wee bit more. Again, Jamesy often adjusts his ice, which is good to see. Player adjusts his ice, takes responsibility for his throw. And plays it really well. But now Callum can choose to roll back. Oh.
Weren't expecting that, were
I
you?
was not expecting that. I've never understood that, boy.
Wait, coached him for long enough.
Well, you're right. I still don't understand it. So, he must be thinking that I can pull. The ice has been great because ice is so swingy that this is possible, but man.
Pretty technical shot for the start of the game.
Surface looks good. The stones are gliding a lot more. It looks like it's real good sweeping judgment ice at the moment. It's real close. Sit down. Slightly heavy.
We were on that a wee bit, just overcooked it.
Yeah, slightly. It's behind the top yellow though. So we've got ultra aggressive curling. By that we don't mean hitting everything out, we mean putting lots of stones in play, drawing in, creating opportunities.
Do you ever mind peeling the corner here?
Have you got communication going on? That's extraordinary. I know you're a prophet, but that's just ridiculous.
You could just say I know.
Full stop. So peeling means taking a stone out of play and rolling away yourself. So it's usually a big weight shot, trying to hit the edge of the stone and roll away. And I did fancy the peel, but I don't fancy that one much.
That's not a good result there.
So what's Callum doing now? That's rolled out a little bit. It's given the opportunity. This side of the sheet was curling huge this morning. Remember?
It was, yeah. Maybe see slightly different conditions.
I think
Difference in sweeping as well.
Yeah, boys. Just that bit more power at their age than that anyway. A bit more effect with sweeping.
Change the call here, just going to move it top.
No, I probably agree with that. It was a big shot to come through that gap. True barrier weight from Luke.
It's not worked out.
It's okay. But an apology there from Callum, not the
Wasn't
cold
shot,
shot,
yeah.
not the cold shot. Nice to see. The guys get on well. I mean, they're arch rivals, but they appreciate what they're all trying to do.
Arch rivals? It's not as vicious as that, is it?
Very, very vicious. Right now, well, the opportunity now. Callum can use the corner now. Ignoring the two yellows, trying to build an end. Could hit the yellows, but would less likely to score, so he ignores the two yellows. Comes round the corner.
Ross has got to be careful here now. Callum makes this round good, you know.
Indeed.
The three's back on straight away.
Indeed, and this is where you just have to think not all your opponent's stones in the rings are enemies. Doesn't look heavy. Doesn't look heavy to me. You gotta go, boys. You have got to go.
not even 3.
So just light away. We thought that side was slightly slower this morning.
Yeah. Maybe looking at the way Ryan's came down there, maybe he was coming more towards the centre and just bumped off that little bit heavy.
So Ross is. He's going to move the red, but he's thinking, what does he do? What does he do? How does he chip the yellows? Does he chip the yellows to the wing? Does he just roll over a wee bit?
He doesn't want to nose hit.
Which way does he go?
If he nose hits, he'll leave a bit of a pocket for Callum to use.
Yeah, so nose hit's not ideal.
Also doesn't want to roll away too far because Callum can still come around and use that corner guard.
And in fact, if he rolls away too far, he's backing behind the corner. So, yeah, I think he was talking about going the other way and knocking the yellow wider, so he doesn't leave a pocket. So, barrier up maybe. Ewan's trying to keep it high. They're trying to hit the red and roll over and chip the yellow, I think. And he makes it. Pretty good.
That's exactly what he called.
Pretty good. So there's not an easy freeze now.
Yeah, he probably just caps us.
Callum's got the hitting. Yeah, but so he's got the hit and roll across on, lie on top of the other yellow. Hope that Ross doesn't freeze it. And could make his 2 this way. Getting the 2 back would be great for them, but it's been an interesting end. Very aggressive, both teams.
Had a chance. Callum did have a really good chance there with Luke's last one to try and get round the corner guard. And I think if you make that one, it's a really different end.
That's a take 1.5 maybe, but it was disappointing how light they were.
You'd hope after the 9-minute practice and being, second end, seeing a few coming down.
I'm disappointed with that. Sure, the boys will be disappointed with that. That's where you've got to be better.
Trying to work this one hard.
Trying to hold it. It's a great shot. It's
Super
a great shot. What can Ross see?
Good sweep.
That's a great shot.
Good.
Oh, and this is what Callum was. He was worried about Ross coming down and capping it, as I say, which in effect is freezing right on top of it. So drawing right up beside it, line shot with it right behind you, so it can't be taken out.
Ross is also looking at his run back, which
Callum's played a good shot. It's right in behind the yellow. Run back.
This is a Ross White goal.
Run back. So yellow, hit the yellow, straight up onto the red, spin the red out of the rings off the back yellow. What weight will this be coming at, Robin?
Not very slow, that's for sure.
Not very slow. So quality of slide matters here.
Don't have to overthrow it in this.
No. Can he control the power? A little bit of brush wobble. James Collins was close. It's curling now. And he makes it.
Stuck it as well.
What a shot. Callum has the draw. Versus 2. Must make.
It's not what Callum would have been wanting this end, forced after losing 3.
Must make, in my opinion. Must make.
It's like 14, is it? Okay. Shoot for tea.
Well, it's just discussing the weight there, making sure they know what
Yeah,
they're
it's
playing.
good. And a bit of high five and a bit of punching. Good to see them, and that's where we need to keep the 2 experienced guys help with Jamesy.
Line's okay, Marsh is. Line's good, Marsh. I think you can go.
Gonna have to go. He's gonna have to go. He's gonna have to go.
Just clean it.
Super's attended that one well.
Looks good. Looks good now. Well
Exactly
judged.
where it was
Well
left his hand.
judged. Well judged. So forced to take a 1, but played hard for a 2.
Did. Went really hard. Almost had the chance for it. Just
So 2 down or 2 up with Ross. Strong position.
just give you an update from the girls' final as well. Lisa Davey managed to get her 2 straight back in the second end, so it was 2 all after 2 ends there. Amy Bruce with the hammer in the third.
So if you're enjoying watching this live stream, folks, why not think about going and watching curling live? So We've got this year in Scotland. We've got the World Wheelchair Curling Championships 2019 at the Peak Ice Rink in Stirling in March, and Sheila Swan, our wheelchair coach, will be there with our Scottish squad. So go along and support them. Mixed teams and mixed doubles, great event. If you can spare the time, get along to Stirling in March and watch the World Wheelchairs and support Team Scotland. So, Callum going for a steal now.
Yeah, I think we want to try and get as many stones here in play as possible.
So centre guard first call.
For sure. Has to be. Can't go top rings. Probably see Ross run it through.
How tight?
You don't want it, with the hitting capabilities of Ross's team and run backs and everything like that, you don't want it too close to rings, but
Okay.
too far away, and all of a sudden the hack weights become easier. So
So Callum's
two,
indicating
three heat short house.
exactly what he's indicating. Just so, and Mash is a bit light, I think.
You might have seen him through the double centre anyway, so
Well, I wondered that, and that's why I was seeing what you thought you would do. I mean, if you go in double centre, you're going big steel. Whereas if you go single centre, you're maybe going force. Steel means when you score without the hammer, and there's more steals now with the 5-rock rule. I think there's more centre guards in play.
yeah, well, you tend to get the setup of having, well, eventually having two guys and one top four. And if you don't quite make a double peel at some point, or at least move them off the centre line, it becomes a huge stealing opportunity. Huge stealing
I
opportunity.
see a lot of teams take a 2 and then steal and steal. You see that pattern of scoring a lot, I think.
It tends to be when a team's want to fight back, just not quite making the shots.
And they're going real aggressive for a 2, going wide, and you've got the middle bottled up before they get at you. That's gone a little deep. Aye, so Callum's going to freeze on top of that. So freeze again, draw right up to the stone, but not touch it back. So you're locked on it.
The only thing is, with coming down and freezing it, is the guard is that long now. You know, does give Ross a good opportunity to move them around.
See Matthew's delivery, he's got his brush flat on the ice now. That's a change they've made this season. And I notice a lot of players going to brush flat on the ice, and I really encourage it. It's a position I think levels the shoulders, and Mash has changed that this year under Craig's guidance, so he's still working on it.
Yeah, I mean, I played about with it a couple of years ago. Helped me for a while, but went back to more traditional way. I think it's just what kind of feels right for you at the time, sort of thing.
Delivery's pretty solid, isn't it?
Closest.
Always have to check in though, don't you? Just check in wee technicals, just wee reminders.
It's never always perfect.
Don't look for perfection, Robin. Look for excellence. Perfection will kill you.
Just bumping off with that freeze attempt there. It's giving Ross a chance to get one on here.
And that's a sweep. That's sweeping control, isn't it? Player can only play in the window. Sweepers have to judge it for a perfect position.
Can't go with perfection, Rambo.
Well, you can with sweeping.
Just excellent.
And he's come up a little light. Okay, game on. So.
Or you just go here.
It's not a great result there for him. It's almost acting as a guard.
What do you think Callum should do though? I think he's chipping it, isn't he?
I don't mind moving
He
it.
talked about, and I like moving it.
I don't mind moving it.
I think you take one of their stones out and you spread your risk then. If he goes in there, we're going to get a bun fight in the forefoot.
You will see Ross peel the guard though, I think.
Exactly. So I don't think Callum wants all these stones close together. I don't think this is wide though. Oh lordy.
It's going to do Ross's job for him.
He'll not be happy. Must just have started it, I think. Struggled a bit, Ryan. Wrecked at the first end.
Yeah.
Wrecked at the third end.
Just got to remember to be positive on this ice. You get nothing for being a soft release.
He tends to go left out the hack. When Ryan's on a bad day, he slides left. And he has to really focus on that. And
Oh shit.
and we can only apologise for that naughty word. But it wasn't a good shot.
I think we've just managed to obliterate one of the hacks, so might see a technical timeout and have an Iceman come down and fix that.
It'll only affect the left-handed players, fortunately.
Handy, there's only one of them on the sheet, isn't there?
So there's a base plate in that. I just don't know if that'll have damaged that. So have we got a tech timeout, Robin?
Yeah, we have a technical timeout.
Talk me through a technical timeout. Well, how does that all work?
Technical timeout, Rambo. That is when team will put the cross arms and both clocks will
Could you
stop.
show your cross arm? Oh, no, you're not on camera.
Well, I'm not on camera now.
So you cross your arms.
Cross your arms, both clocks stop.
And you cross your arms, and who do you show your cross arms to?
To the time clock.
Well done.
Operator.
And who else?
The umpire,
Good
game
lad,
umpire.
good lad, you're learning. And then what do you do?
Both clocks will stop. The
Yes.
umpire will come over and see what the issue is.
Yes.
Quite obvious here what the issue is. The hat's been
And-
obliterated.
And the senior iceman, a la
Tom Brewster.
Tom Brewster, very, very good curler in his own right. Now a coach with British Curling and Team Jackson, who are off to the World Cup soon in Jönköping. So Tom's going away to accompany Sophie Jackson and the girls to the next World Cup. But he's going to have a major repair job on his hands here. They must have sheared the bolt, I think.
Yes, it doesn't look like a
This
simple
this
repair.
could be a black mark on the old bank balance for Kinnear. Should he have stopped him? Scottish curling might get the bill, Bruce.
Just been rocking at every end. And the rope throw it down the far.
Owen McCrossen's gone white. We're running on a very tight budget, chaps, and this could wreck the whole thing. Oh, wages could be dropping.
Well,
Jobs are on the line.
you're doing an awfully good job of time filling now, we'll have to say.
My job's probably on the line.
What are we throwing?
We can't play with Tom Bruce today. We could kill him. They're filling in the holes because the hack must be frozen in today, so they're filling in the holes.
Yeah, they'll hopefully freeze before the start of the next time. But yeah, just to recap, is Ross White is 3-1 up after 2 ends with the hammer. James Craig just did play a raised takeout and nobody managed to stop the stone, which is why we're seeing the repairs to the hack.
There's how an expert does it. A nice pair of shoes, Tom. Suede.
Right, never on. Cheers. Just tight.
So we're back in action here. I think Callum's just going to throw. Is he throwing the takeout here, do you think? Just the guard. Going
Just-
to the guard.
Looks hot. Where? Room just now.
Hopefully that disruption doesn't, put them off too much.
I don't think it will.
Right, Marsh.
I don't think it will. They regroup. They're both experienced enough to regroup. And Callum's worried that was just a wee bit hot, as he described, which means heavy. And he's gone in the rings, so he's a big bit hot.
2 mistakes there from Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan's just struggling, and he's integral to this team. He's a great team dynamic man. He's brilliant at getting the best out of each other, but he's just not settled in. So James has got a front to back double now.
Same line as his last one.
Yeah, they're on it early. And he makes it. And Kinnear's in a whole lot of trouble now.
Good adjustment. He missed his last one high and made sure he wasn't as high on that one. Used a sweeper. Super held it straight from.
Yeah, players, have to take touch. The brush is a guide, Robin. The brush is
Definitely for
only
you.
a guide. So here's Luke playing. Luke joined the team, maybe an opportunity to talk about that, joined the team this year because Duncan, who's playing against him, at the end of last season moved to play with Ross. And that's pulled huge.
It's like half store outside the hill way.
And they're worried about that because it's moved a long way. They're wondering if it picked. They're wondering if it, I think he said picked. They say fudged.
He did say fudged.
Fudge, which is a term to describe the surface of the ice
Not the sweets.
when it goes a little soft and the stone curls big. Then so often happens when things are against you. Everything's against you. You make your own breaks.
Yeah, you were talking about the change of the lineups. Just Duncan teaming up with Ross. Duncan was obviously out as 5th man with Ross at the Worlds last year.
Absolutely.
Played a big part.
Played a few games.
Yeah, played a big part.
Got a buzz for it. and then you aged out.
I did.
So an opportunity became available in that team, and presumably Ross or somebody approached Duncan, and he decided to leave Callum's team. And I think the carrot of a junior in Canada was a huge draw for that. So, but it didn't stop there, did it? Because then Jamesy got the call.
Well, no, because obviously from last season, myself and Fraser Kingan aged out the team, so left 2 spots for Ross looking.
So James was headhunted by Ross and came out of another really promising team at the start of this season. So 2 teams had major players leave them and join Ross. And the carrot of a World Junior in Canada, I think, had a big part in that. So Callum recruited Luke, who's been a great fit with the team.
Luke obviously used to be a skip himself.
Indeed.
Moved down to 3.
Indeed, and Team Angus Bryce emerged from the team that James left, and they've performed really well. Angus's first experience of skipping this year, and they've done well in this competition and done well all year, high up in the order of merit. So sometimes opportunities arise from unfortunate changes in lineups. That curled a lot too, didn't it?
Yeah, remember that was that same side in the previous game we watched this morning.
It was pulling big, and Luke throws a big weight, so he doesn't get as much pull normally, but if you're slightly soft, they take off.
Not been a great end from Team Kinnear, just really on the back foot.
No. This looks bleak, because Ross has got great separation, good separation and depth as well. And if he puts this third stone in a good place, you think 2's at minimum. I can hear Callum and Luke chatting away. Callum's trying to keep Luke's spirits up. Good to hear.
Always having to work this one. Looking a little bit light.
Trying to get it. That's good. There's no crosshouse double really. Front to back doubles.
Super's really made that shot there.
Front to back doubles there. No treble though.
Super's made that shot there. It's kind of from the hand.
Yeah, but
coast to coast.
Duncan and Ewan have worked hard at that. Look at their upper bodies. I mean, I remember when they were wee laddies. Look at the size of them now. I wouldn't argue with them now. Yeah. Big part of the game. Sweeping's really intensive, and it's sprinting with your arms. These guys can sweep flat out for 15 seconds aerobically. Trained to get to that level in the gym 2 or 3 times a week. And then if they go up a level to British curling, the demands will be even higher for the what it takes to win model. So really have to commit to this.
Seen you another week in Super League, Ram. You're not a bad sweeper yourself.
Oh, thanks very much. I've looked after my body. That is curling like mad too. I mean, that's just crazy. So there's either a complete misreading of the ice here.
Is there ever a case that's 3rd in a row after the first 2 you see over curl, play the other turn at it?
I'd have said after 2 you'd be doing that. You have to believe. You have to. They think in the first one fudge. Well, if it's fudging, the ice is fudging. They're all going to fudge. If it's a pickup, it's different. But I think that's lack of sharing of information and realising what the problem is.
And knowing how you've thrown the stone as well.
You have to do something different, and that was even less weight than Luke threw. He will have to do a forfeit, and it'll be personally payable to me. But that's sort of naughty. Well, they're blaming you for the naughty word.
Well, it definitely wasn't me.
It wasn't you. It was a player.
It was a player.
Was a player. I'm quite right, Robin.
You backed me up on that one,
defend your
Rambo. Thank you very
honour
much.
there. So, is he trying to chip the top stone? Try to tap back the top stone. Duncan's on, try to push it down the hill a wee bit. It must be heavy. Yeah, so they went for a tap and just heavy. That didn't curl so much, so did it?
No, maybe just a difference in the throws.
Slightly, and it didn't curl as much as the hits that Luke and Callum missed. What do you think?
I think your first call would have been to hit and roll at the same shot as the
hit
last
and
one,
roll
but I think
behind
the
the centre.
previous 2 stones have kind of put him off. playing it really.
Playing the front to back double, or draw around the centre and hope he doesn't raise it.
Yeah.
What
Not
one-
left with a whole lot of options.
Tough, really tough. And if they go 6-1 down.
At this point, are you saying if you left a double, you're happy to lose 2?
Yeah.
Not really.
Still 4 down.
The right hand yellow's not in, is it?
If you could make that hit and roll pretty good, you'd be quite happy. But just for the previous 3 stones, it's kind of quite tough.
There's been a lot of mistakes from them. So they've got themselves in a whole heap of bother. Ryan's 2 wrecks, Luke and Callum missing, and
Just a quick update while we're waiting on the boys to make a decision is a steal of 3 to Team Davy in the girls' final. So that puts Lisa Davy up 5-2 after 3 ends against Amy Bryce.
and Team Davies line 4 with Kirsty Barr playing. So deep in the end, Team Davies lying 4 and playing.
Is Callum going for the draw round here?
What's the speed similar to the last?
I think he is.
Or less?
Yeah, I probably agree with it actually.
It's all or nothing there, I think.
Yeah, it's all or nothing. Get this back 4 in behind the yellow. Don't want to leave a double off the other yellow. Got to get this right. Give them so they might get out of jail. They might get out of jail.
Hard line. Hard line.
Callum's calling for a line.
Line's good.
Line's good now.
all about
Just
the
trying to
supers.
judge the weight. Judge the weight, guys. Matthew needs to finish it.
Yes.
Matthew needs to finish it.
Easy. Yep. Yes. Hard. Whoa. Whoa.
That's a really, really good effort, I think. Now, Ross has a dilemma. Can he tap it? But he's going to play a raise.
Okay. Good boy.
What did you say earlier?
It's the Ross White shot.
Ross
so
White shot. That's him stereotyped for the rest of his life then.
They won't think twice about it ever.
On his in turn. Bread and butter. Degree of difficulty, Robin, on this shot out of 10. How many times do you make it?
Depends who you are.
No, it's you. How many times do you
Me?
make it? 8 out of 10.
7 or
Make
8.
contact with
7
the
or
red. 8 out of 10.
7 or 8. Yourself, Rambo?
In his dreams, folks.
Has he rolled the shooter on?
The shooter's in.
Does it beat the back red?
Shooter's in.
I think it does. I think it's a score of 3 for White.
And if it is a score of 3, that's 6-1. And it's time to
Indeed.
everything in play. Team Kinnear.
Yep. Just gonna have to throw it all out there and try and get something going.
Here's an interesting thing. So Ross and Duncan are going to team up with Luke and Ryan and Robin McCall.
Yep.
And they're off to the World University Games as a line-up, so 2 from each team. In Krasnoyarsk in Russia, March the 2nd to the 12th, along with Sophie Jackson's team and Leanne McKenzie joining them in the ladies' WUGS team. So part of the Bucks system, and they're going away there with real medal chances in the World University Games. And that's in March the 2nd, so that's not long away.
It's a great opportunity for them, you know, multi-sport event. Yourself, Rambo, you've been out to a few of them as a coach.
As a coach. Not as a student.
As a coach, you know, what kind of things have you picked up from being out
Well,
there?
actually, they're really interesting events because they're championship events, and the level is certainly as good as junior, probably a bit better than junior, but it's great coaching experience because coaches can be developed at those things. And I had a huge opportunity in 2009. One of the first coaching opportunities I got was Kate asked me to go to Harbin to World University Games, and of course having a mentor like Kate was a great asset to me, and I learnt a lot of things. And now Greg's going to go with that team to the WUGS Games, which will be great. And Tom Brewster's going to go with the girls team, so with Kate, so she'll be able to share our knowledge with them and help them develop as coaches. And we're bringing these, I say ex-players, recent ex-players into the coaching system and mentoring them a bit, and it'll be a great opportunity for them to go and learn how to help teams. So these 2 guys are enemies today, but will be joining up forces to go away to Russia soon.
Got room. Oh.
So we're probably going to see corner guards put on separate sides. You know, either side for Callum here. He's got no choice but to do that.
Callum's got to create chances to hide stones that Ross can hit out, and then hope to get at the middle later in the end and convert a chance to score.
It's really great to hear the communication between, you know, thrower, skip, sweepers, where that stone's really got to go.
I'm just looking at the sweeping style of both players behind the stone there. Well, you tell me what they're up to there. We traditionally have seen two sweepers on the same side in my era. Unbelievable. Now
Is that when you're in town, Carl, more than out town?
Well, that's definitely the sweeper's fault. It certainly wasn't the way I threw it. But we're now seeing one sweeper either side. So
yeah, it's more trying to get your 45 degrees to the stone, just kind of slightly angled.
So you're trying to encourage the swing or discourage the swing depending which sweeper you put on.
Also, if you're just with technique as well, easier to get the technique if you're slightly behind and being close to the stone.
Okay. So try to get a lot of your weight over the head of the brush.
Frequency.
Feet outside your hip line as fast as you can. Generate heat to keep the speed up, but you're also trying to create a wee channel for the stone to follow.
Yeah, you're trying to sweep, kind of get the stone. If you're going to get the stone to curl, is to kind of create that channel.
Yeah,
and
stone will follow
gradually-
it down. Yeah, so behind the stone gives you a better angle for that.
It certainly does. Yeah. You want to stay on your toes as well. You won't ever have a flat foot now.
Yeah,
It means,
so
you're loading through your legs at some point if your foot's
So
flat.
a lot of the weight on the head of the brush,
Yeah.
and arms are used for speed rather than for pressure. Eh?
That's where the gym work comes in, because you really are putting all the pressure through that upper body and through the shoulders and the back.
Big core required to hang on to it and stay upright.
It's a really good sell there from Team White. Everything in line.
So this is, of course, this is what we're saying. That Callum takes the risk, sets up the two corners. Can he get access to the middle now? He needs to play a double peel.
Need to make contact. Need to hold the shooter as well. Hold the shooter and you give yourself a chance.
Oh. Marsh. Hard. Hard.
Just going a single peel there. Roll off to the side.
Callum was sweeping that hard. Or was he trying to sweep it down the
He was
hill?
trying to sweep it down the hill. It's Matthew on the
Trying
outside.
to get more of the thicker on the nose and move and hold the shooter, as you said.
At that weight though, how much do you think it
I don't
really has an
think it
effect?
does, and that's, you know, I was mistaken obviously sweeping on the high side, but you're having to hope it swings, I think. So simple peel the corner makes it. They jammed that one the last time, but they make it this time. James, he's not so happy, but I think that's a good result. I think he was trying to hit and roll to centre there.
I think so.
High nose.
I don't like that.
I think
You're
that's
5 up. Just
exactly. So I think James, he looks a bit down, but I would say that's a good shot.
I think if you want to really roll to centre, you had to throw less weight. It's kind of.
Yeah. If you had to make it, you would have thrown less weight. I don't think they were big on making it.
I'm going to try and move these yellows around a wee bit, try and create a pocket or something.
Well, he's just playing a tap on the top one, I think. He might get a bit of split on the back, the yellows back to the tee line or deeper, and then can freeze them later on.
On this roll. Yep. Hard. On the roll. On the roll. Hard. Hard.
Good shot, Ryan. Good shot. Gets some protection from the corner.
Is he fully buried under that guard or?
Don't know. We'll maybe see. It looks pretty close.
Ross taking no chance.
There's
He's
a
just going
good
to peel the guard
angle now,
anyway.
good angle now, and he's pretty well buried. Ross, no hesitation. Peel the guard. No hesitation. Peel the guard. And does so. Okay, Callum's replacing the guard. Not making his move on the yellows at this point.
Don't think you want to come in too early. Just gives him a chance to bail.
Talked about that in the girls' game. You have to be patient. Even if you don't make the guard perfect, either the guard or the stone in the corner is going to be in play.
Boy, he's just cleaned the bit of dirt off the ice there.
Probably where Tom Brewster came on to repair it with his suede
Suede
shoes.
Not good footwear for this.
No, shocking example.
Just halfway. Line's good. Really moving. Good over Curl. Oh. Just needs to stop for line. Pretty good. Just stop. Stop. Okay.
Well, it's okay because Ross, he probably doesn't try that. He probably does the simple peel. So you're going to get a chance to guard it again.
Do you guard at the win? Do you think it's the right time to, you know, come into the rings and probably try and freeze one of those yellows?
Like Team Kinnear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it with Luke's next one?
I think it's usually with the third, second stone you make your move. Depends where this goes, but that's clear. Right. I think you'll make a play in one of the yellows.
Possibly freeze the one on the left.
Do you like this?
Yeah, I wondered about moving one. I mean, they're sitting as a double, now, but if you freeze one, which is, and freezing perfectly is tough, obviously.
It is.
But maybe you move one and just sit and lie 2 second shots.
I think you've got to try and freeze the one on the left hand side, just not one that's not on the fourth.
If you get slightly to the middle line, they could jam it.
Just where Callum's brush is.
Just if they get that perfect, it's hard to take out because the other yellow will catch it.
Marshes.
Not an easy shot to play, you know, you get the line and the speed right.
No, freezing perfectly is a tough shot in a circumstance like this where you've no guard you're going around, you're just trying to freeze the stone in the rings. That looks a little heavy. Is it going through the hole? Just a fraction wide, a fraction hard.
Maybe just to make the call there to try and go through the hole quick enough.
Callum's saying they jumped it early, I think, so just overswept it early on and didn't get to finish.
I didn't think it was going to stop with the face of it, so I was like, well, maybe get it by, but maybe shouldn't have.
Is the double there off the yellow, do you think? If you could come to spin off your yellow and take the red as well?
Probably is there. They want to keep 2 yellows in the rings, really, because if they spin 2 out, then Callum has a hit and lie for 2.
Play the scoreboard though if you lose 2.
Yeah, they'd be okay with that, but I don't think they're thinking that about it. The main thing is get this red out, not leave a triple if you can. Your nose hit it.
It's pretty tough.
If
It's pretty tough to lift them all, isn't it?
I think it's tough. Just depends exactly where it rolls to. You might be able to get an angle, but they have Callum has to be able to keep his red shooter whatever happens. So
That's not the healthiest of starts, like. No.
here you go. He's I tell you this, I think you maybe can move 3 yellows.
Do you not just leave the double back though for Ross's last?
You probably do. You need to hit that half stone, but then you do roll across to your red, don't you?
I think it's normal just there. Just touches it, does it not?
I think he's just trying to.
If you were just to nose it,
he's going to leave 1 yellow in, but he needs to keep his shooter, and he's worried about leaving the double, as you've said. So he's trying to hit this pretty thick and just move the other yellow out too.
Yep.
just to give you an update on the girls' score, it's Lisa Davey with another steal there. Put her up 6-2 after 4 ends.
And there's again loads of reds in play over there, so the Davy front end's doing something right. It's Emma and Anna.
Here we go with Callum. Let's try to patch this one pretty thick.
Never. Yep.
Just gets the single, just needed to curl a little more, he might have flicked the yellow, another yellow. It's okay though. The double.
The problem is, I don't think Ross needs to worry about the double, does
He
he?
doesn't really. No, he doesn't really.
Just has to get rid of the winger and
He
roll
doesn't
in.
He doesn't really. How's Callum going to make it 2?
If you check half stone other side is better, eh? He knows he's got a skinny double off.
Well, Ross knows this. How does Callum make 2?
It's normal, I think. I think we just have to make sure we score, look.
Aye.
If he rolls in here, we're really struggling, I think.
So Callum still thinking. So even one.
Yeah.
Even one's not disastrous, but it's going to be real tough if they only get 1.
In the hefty steel tray, man.
We did see it earlier today. You know,
We
4
did.
down,
We
come
did.
back and
We
win.
did. But I think the boys will take a different approach from there ahead. They'll not be leaving stones in play.
It's a pretty nice shot.
Yeah.
Has he got the triple there to take 2?
I don't think he has. I think you leave one of the yellows in play if you get the angle right to get off the red to get this yellow. You leave the middle yellow, I think. Well, we're about to find out.
Out turn, quarter stone on the inside. This one definitely won't be hanging about.
Hard. Hard!
Big weight. Must have been tight. He's going for the thin double. And he misses it. And he gets it.
Just made it. Great shot for 2.
In off the yellow.
Aye.
Didn't see that at all. Great shot for 2. Game's back on.
6-3 after 4 ends.
6-3. So, well,
Thought if I didn't get the now we go in now, I'm not getting it in this year. So. Thought if we didn't get the now we go in now, there's not much a better time to use it like.
Well, what an end that was.
I didn't see that shot. We're not right behind the sheet. You can't quite see the angle, but I did not see that shot. I thought he was trying to play the red across.
Mm-hmm.
Stop 4 a bit harder. So if you go tight.
Still 3 up. I mean, Ross won't be disappointed losing 2 there.
But
Playing the scoreboard.
But can you this 1 minute meeting? They're really positive about what the plan is. Callum's really upbeat, so I think they've not thrown in the towel yet. They're trying to move it. Mash has got to make the first 2 setups, and then Ryan's just got to make his shots. He's just struggled a wee bit today.
Yeah, they start to make a few more draws and really put Ross under a bit pressure. At the moment, the team's not really facing too many technical shots. It's just open takeouts,
You're right.
draws. Really just got to start putting the pressure on.
Ross has played the 2 raises when he's been asked.
He has. He has. We did see after this point this morning though, at least this team were 4 down. Callum's only 3 down, so
Just tight, come on,
still is possible.
come on, hard,
You can hear Callum with a mic on. You can hear him
hard. Keep
encouraging
going.
his front
Don't
end.
worry, hard.
Can you hear Callum without a mic on?
Yeah. It's good though. It's good. They're upbeat. They're still firing. See Ross with his stopwatch in his hand. He's measuring the hog-to-hog time here. So he's measuring the time, the speed of the stone when it crosses that blue line till it crosses the next blue line, which keeps them an eye on the speed of the sheet. So Ross has an understanding if that speed's changing or if it's different on different paths of ice. Ewan's not at all happy. He's come up way light.
It's not a good result. He would have
That's
been
not a good result.
hoping if anything to be
He's
heavier
not-
on that one.
Because the last thing Ross wants is stones in play now.
Just over.
Certainly centre stone short. So that's a really poor shot for Ewan for an experienced player, and he's rightly very disappointed with it. But controlled himself.
He did. I think that's an important part to play in this game. Is,
Controlled himself.
Easy, Ruth.
experience.
Lots of room.
been in that situation before.
We've been in that situation, and you can
I want to guard the yellow,
you can
Ryan.
lose it, and it doesn't help anybody then.
Hard, Ryan. Hard.
If it takes you the last stone to win the game, it takes you the last stone to win the game.
Curl it, hard. Hard.
Still a long way to
That
go.
was good. Marsh played a good second guard, so a good setup this time. Oh, clever. So, round the back, Robin.
Yeah, just coming round. Obviously, can't peel the guard yet. Doesn't want this one to go back to you. If this goes back to you, gives Team Kinnear a really good opportunity to weld one in there behind all that cover. To be able to adjust well on this one. Have to come up short with the first. Supers are working it quite well. This one again, pulling up a bit short.
Yeah.
Top one.
Yeah, so far
Top four, top one.
the referee stopped the end. Callum will be up on points at this end.
I think we'll see with Ross's next one. If they make this pretty good, that bail quite early, try and shift those guards. It's the difference between this game and what the game we watched earlier.
Yeah,
Is
and we'll see a bit of power now because we'll see what Jamesy and Dunkey can do, and they can shift a lot of granite.
Where are they?
So Ryan needs to make this and then ask the questions. Can they shift the centre guards?
Hard.
Looks a bit light to me.
Where? Keep going.
It's really light.
Keep going. Yep.
What's
Get it by this. Hard. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. Okay. Okay, right.
don't know what's wrong. Just out of fettle.
it's just been on that intern side as well.
He's yeah, I don't know what's wrong. Just form is fleeting.
So just a bit thought, just to see the guards get shifted here.
So James is getting all he's got.
Good shot.
And
But
three disappear and he gets a corner.
But as good as he could have done with that, I think. Callum again going to try and come around the centre guards.
It's amazing though if Callum just can pinch one back here, how the
Game can
the
completely change.
momentum and the feelings and the pinch one back here and it's still alive.
Hard line. Oh, yes. Hard. Both of you in. Sweep. Keep going. Line's good. Full 8 foot. Hard. Ah, really
Good,
good scrub, boss.
good,
Really
good
scrub.
sweep with the guys
Nice.
and you know, just lift Ryan a wee bit.
He just makes the double rip now. Just keep guarding it.
You know, coming into the final kind of unbeaten and
Good eye.
with the experience that Ross and that have, how much an impact do you think that has for the team playing this game?
We always argue with that. Is it better to go unbeaten? Is it better to lose the game at some point? I don't think it, I don't know the answer. I just think if you're sticking to your processes and you're all delivering what you say you're going to deliver, that's your best chance of winning. So I like a team to go unbeaten, and I think teams like to go unbeaten, and it gives them a real drive to stay unbeaten. And if you look at the World Bees, the best team, they went unbeaten, and they were really determined to go unbeaten all the way through.
It's a great shot there from James Craig, because, you know, lifts everything, managed to hold that one on there.
Everything's gone.
Just spun on the edge of the rings.
Too easy,
And Dunkey's giving him a pat on the derriere. That's French, Robin.
4.
Yeah. What? I couldn't say that on live.
There might be some French viewers, you never know.
Well, there are, but I'm fluent in 17 different languages, so. I think Greg looks a pretty relaxed coach, don't you think?
He does. Looks very chilled.
Chilled.
Close line.
One of those modern expressions.
Hard Ryan. Hard Ryan.
Can't come around the corner guard.
Keep going.
Doesn't want to be too deep with this one.
It's over curling, whoa. It's over curling, whoa. Like massive. Oh.
You just see with the hitting ability, you just be able to shift off so many zones in one go. It's a real advantage.
Yeah, they've shifted 5 stones,
2 shots.
2 shots, and lie on the wing as well.
They were quite bunched together though, you know. Didn't have quite have the separation on them.
They were quite well lined up though, but because they were very accurate and very powerful, they could roll away and still shift them. So Donkey's going for what he can see around the outside. Barrier weight, mid-weight hit. This is where Luke and Callum are getting huge curl. And Donkey gets round. It is moving now, but he gets round at barrier weight. And it just must be the quality of throw, the quality of release. I think
Just
Luke
be
and
positive.
Callum must have started this.
Just the rotation really does help, as long as you have plenty of rotation on it.
Release, rotation, it's very personal, but it's something you've got to spend hours perfecting. Can't get perfection, keep contradicting myself. But you've got to get really consistent, and especially across the team, the more consistent across the team.
I think experience of playing on the ice as well. I mean, all these guys out there have played on this sort of ice before.
Yeah, but Callum and Luke and Ryan have too. Maybe not to the same level, I accept that. But they've had a lot of opportunity too.
Does pressure play a part, you know? We're just
Yeah,
being that wee
I'm
bit
sure it
softer
does.
and
I'm
getting
sure
them
it
going in
does.
pressure
I'm sure it
situations.
does. Many times has Callum beaten Ross this year?
Twice, I think.
Yeah,
From
but
5.
with different lineups and
Yeah.
Cammy in, and so
Keep going.
Ross has still got the winning streak over Callum.
Throw again, it just took off.
It's interesting because you hear a lot of negatives from the Kinnear side and just nothing but positive. Kind of, you know, they're just struggling to control their throws on this ice.
I'd say they both look
It
solid.
really does come down to just the technical work you put in beforehand.
Yeah,
In these pressure
and-
situations, does
and
make it play a big part.
Callum's just said to Luke, I think they were both soft. So they're now line 3.
They're struggling to get the,
At line 3,
but like this,
his
just a
tactical
true heart.
efficiencies is going to look good.
Yeah, just true heart.
3 the new 2.
Take a 3. Force a 1. Take a 3. Force a 2. Take a 3. Force and 2 might become the new thing.
No wonder it, like. He's going to have an easy run again, but then you might get the chance to freeze him the last, I don't know. Yeah, nice hack.
So, just a,
Hard. Hard is good.
Can't go for the bump and roll behind, is he?
Hard.
he is, because he talked about freezing with his last if he had to.
Hard.
And they're holding it.
Is he getting by?
They're holding it. It's a good shot. It's a good shot.
Callum has played some cracking shots so far, you know.
I think he's just said. I think he just said, God, I'm playing well, and he is playing well, but he's not getting much in front of him.
He's not had much to play with, he hasn't.
No, it's not. They've not got a good setup with control. So raise takeout, short run back, 8, 9 out of 10 shot.
Ross,
But it's all
out 9.
It's all Callum could do there. He's done all he could do.
It's a bit short than the ones we've seen Ross play so far in the game.
Girls' game's at halfway, and Amy's taken a 1 back at the 3rd. So she's 3 down. Lisa Davies 3 up, playing the 6th, or just about to start the 6th. And Ross nails it. Absolutely nails it.
We'll just call it the Ross White. That's what yeah.
Now, Callum's going to freeze the back yellow, which is what he did indicate might have to do. So he was kind of predicting Ross would make that.
He's played this turn already. Remember the come round draw in the
Yeah.
is it the 3rd end?
You can either
Yeah.
over curl and get a hair
Force
into
Ross
him
to play another run back.
or
You'll
like that
see-
as well. He's going to try to run again.
You'll
so-
see half the stone from the
Can you get one
hack.
more? Yeah.
Past it, you can pass the top yellow by a bit and still finish, because the ice is allowing him to do that.
Don't think you want to finish too much on the inside because if
you
he
want to
Ross is a piece,
perfectly
he might
nose
just pick
freeze,
it.
I think. Perfectly nose
Yeah.
freeze. So right on the middle of the stone,
Try no bounce.
frozen on
He's got a
it,
chance
touching
to
it,
rip it.
no bump.
Line's good. Ryan. Hard line. Hard line. Well, line's good. Yep. Hard.
Super's like the weight, I think.
Whoa, Curl.
It's pretty close.
Yes! Yes!
Super shot.
It's
Just over curled.
It has a little. But actually, he's got to play the raise again because it's over curled, but perfectly behind the top yellow. Raise again.
Can I make it 4 from 4?
He can. So he wants to put it just right onto the beak, doesn't he? Right onto the nose, and he will take
2.
the wingers in, I think.
Yeah.
3.
2, 3.
3, I
Three.
think. Yeah. Because the winger is in, if he gets this right. He's throwing that back a bit. He's throwing that a little high. And that is some sweep. Some sweep from James 8.
He's made it
And
4 from 4.
He's made, it's a 2, I think
It's a 2.
It's a 2. He was that, just had to curl a little higher, and he wasn't making it. But there we go, 2 taken by Ross White. So at half time, he leads 8-3. Convincing lead. The Ross back, as Ronnie Glenn has just called it. Yep. Well, we couldn't disagree, Ronnie. He's made every single one he's been at. Has he made 4?
4.
4, and on both hands. 2 an in turn, 2 an out turn. Time on ice. He's a diligent practitioner. He's in the NCA National Curling Academy.
Could probably credit Greg Drummond, the technical
Every-
coach, for that. You know.
Well, I don't want to go that far.
Oh, okay. Gotta give him some sort of credit, you know.
And, Ross is in there early morning practicing away. We see him when our academy athletes get in there, we rub shoulders with these guys in British curling. And it's a great inspiration for the young players to get in there and be working alongside the Eve Muirheads and the Bruce Mowatts and the Ross Pattersons and the Glenn Muirhead teams, which are doing really well in world curling. So got a little bit of momentum there.
The NCA has been a great addition to Scottish curling.
Great addition.
Curling in Scotland.
Great
It's
addition.
giving you a regular place you can go and practice. You know,
we've got
get a regular slot each week, every day.
Yeah, we've got 48 young academy athletes get access to that building thanks to Graham Thompson and British Curling and their allocation of ice to us, which we just simply couldn't have afforded otherwise. So it makes a huge difference. We're getting more time on task. Admittedly, some of the kids have to travel a distance, but we try to make that possible. Try to make sure they all get team practices and technical sessions, and great credit to the academy coaches who volunteer time to do all of that and give me great support.
There's some of the banners that some of the fans and family have made, supporting the teams that are in the final. Some nice artwork there, Rambo.
Some very nice artwork. I don't know who chose the yellow because it's really not very legible. That was a bad mistake from the graphic designers.
Well, 5 ends are played. Score of 8-3. A lot of work to do in the second half for Team
It's going
Kinnear.
to be, at the moment, they're being outplayed, and they're not setting up things. Ryan's struggling a bit, Luke's struggling a bit. Callum's played really well, actually.
Callum's kept them in this game so
He's
far.
played really well, and yeah, that can happen. And the day you string it together, it's great. Girls' game update started the 6th end. Just the first two tones of play, so it's early on, but as we say, so Lisa's 3 up with the hammer. She's in good position too, and it's interesting because just talking about the girls' game, because Lisa lost the World B playoff to Farmer in December. Had a chance to win it, but has bounced back and looks like she might be halfway to representing us at the World A's. So
Another 5 ends of play and could well be doing so. He's doing that.
big job by Andrew Barron supporting those girls through what was a real disappointment for them a month ago.
What do you think Craig Ward will be saying to Team Kinnear on this
I don't
5-minute
know.
break?
I think it'll be mainly motivational, keep the spirits up, keep trying, you never know. Create a 2 now, and then try and see if you can say, but you're going to have to take a 2 now and steal 3 times.
I think it's at least a 2 back in the 6th
2
round.
back and steal a lot. Because if you even if force is not helping you, the Ross is going to creep ahead. I think you probably have to take a 2, as you said, maybe a 3, and then try and steal it. And you probably have to go all out and try and do that. And if you lose a big end doing it, well, you're going to lose the game anyway.
Yep.
So take it on. And they have to play 8 ends, I think, Robin, don't they, at this stage?
It's minimum of 8 ends in the
Minimum of 8
playoffs.
ends, so you're out there battling away, but you must try to win the game, not just try and keep the score close. Try and win it.
I think you just try and give Ryan a bit of confidence as well, go out and make some shots. Try and gym up a bit.
It's pretty likely it's going to be asked fairly technical come around, so we'll see.
Right, you can get up there.
Teams come back on the ice.
Yeah, and just another reminder that the Scottish Championship finals, Robin, are going to be played in Perth at Dewar Centre this year, 16th of February. If you go to the Eventbrite, eventbrite.co.uk, you can book your tickets, so go and see some live curling Scottish Championship finals. Make a day of it, both finals, men's and ladies, for £15. You can enjoy a nice lunch if you book ahead. So if you want to go and see live curling, you're going to see our best teams in Scotland. Make a day on the 16th of February in Perth and go in and listen to the atmosphere at Rinkside.
Should be a couple of great finals there.
Nice, top 4. Okay. Starting to move now. Oh. I think you're there. Good
So there's that top 4 you kind of mentioned in the last game, Rambo, being really crucial up in the game. Top 4.
No, it is, and it makes such a difference at the start. And I see Alistair's asked a question: is James Craig's granddad Bobby still the reigning outdoor world champion? Well, I can't answer that question, but as we haven't had a grand match since then, he probably is. All I can tell you is he's just back from holiday in America, and the weather, he's miserable and he's not a happy bunny.
Ryan, if you want to. Ryan, if you want to. Just a wee bit if you can. Yep. Get off the tramline, yep. Okay, nice.
Top 12.
It's instantly there. Callum plays the corner guard and Ross knows exactly what he's doing. Burst down, top 12.
Because he understands that you have a plan. They have a plan for the end. That makes it easier to call the shots. You need to have a plan. What's your best outcome? What's your second option? And what do you not want to happen? Makes it easier to call the shots.
Sweeper's not touching it. I think it's going slightly too deep.
Slight curl up.
It's not the worst position.
It's good.
Could be better.
I think it's good. I mean, they're pretty well lined up. You don't want to stagger on them. They're pretty well lined up. Callum going double corners. Trying to get a corner on the other side, ignoring the stones in play, trying to set some cover up for later in the end.
Yeah, on, get it here.
Make sure they're level.
Trying to get them level so there's no double, because these guys can ping across one side to the other and move them both.
Sorry, I was not meaning for like.
And that is slightly deep, and they may have a pingaroony.
Not quite yet.
Not yet, not allowed to yet. Last year you could have had a pingaroony.
You could. Makes it a lot simpler when you're up by this much.
It's a lot easier for my age group to remember that. So Ross is electing to put. Is he going in the rings, Robin?
Just bite the top of the 12, I think is what
Bite
they call.
top 12.
Doesn't want any guards in play.
Line up, important. Bite top 12.
Just makes it tough for Callum to move those 2 in the forefoot, which are going to cause him most of the problems at the moment.
Callum probably needs a mistake from them. But one mistake lets him in. Trying to swing it over. Both hammering it down the hill. Good sweep, guys. Good close together, as close as they can to the stone, as close as they can to each other, getting the best effect out of sweeping, getting the overlap of the heat, getting the overlap of the direction.
Definitely 2 of the best sweepers in the field, I think, this week.
Yeah. Relatively older than some of the teams, of course.
Just like that. I'll go like this. Back line. You squeak by it, back line, you're good.
We've been asked about the girls' score online. The score is 6-3. 6-3 to Davy.
Yeah, okay, back line.
And Davy's lying 4. buried behind two centres.
Callum just trying to come down here and move these around a bit. Just back line, I think it's what he's called.
Well, I think it must be wide.
Never.
I think it'll move though.
Touch heavier than what he's
I
asked
think
for
it's
as well.
heavy. Ryan's turned his back on it. He's struggled. He's just struggled with that, and I don't know. Just heavier than I think called.
Yeah, definitely heavy, and judging by the way Callum reacted, maybe a wee bit high in the throw as well.
That's disappointing for Ryan because he's not had his best game, and he's such a crucial guy to that team. He's a great communicator. He gets the best out of everybody, and he's just had a bad day.
Got a big decision for Ross here. Do you just chuck up another guard, do you? Do you go for start peeling?
I quite like another guard. You can't take both reds away. You can hit and roll to guard. Remember, like we talked about, it was 2 ends ago, he could hit and roll to centre here.
Yeah, I know.
But do you want
If
to
you
complicate
if you ever over roll and move the centre
do you
guard,
want
though,
to complicate it?
Try that. You just have to shift it far enough.
if you're just to guard the hole, it's pretty tough for Callum. He's got to then start shifting some guys doing your job for
He
you.
could, of course, raise one of the reds in, and then he's in behind the centres, and you're thinking, what have I done that for? But
It's the joy of the 5 rock room.
well, it is a little bit, and Callum's got to raise off both hands because his guards are relatively close to the rings. They're not unmakeable.
There.
Thought they might have called a timeout. Would you call a
Zone
timeout?
2 is nice.
Depends whether they want to speak to Greg or not.
Greg doesn't look like he's preparing for a timeout.
Okay.
Nah, Ross knows what he's doing. He's called the guard.
I don't doubt he knows what he's doing, but sometimes it just gives you a wee bit of perspective on it. And we noticed in the girls' game maybe a timeout could have been called a bit earlier, didn't we?
Yeah. Interesting enough, they're playing the guard here on the in-turn.
Red right now.
That
Trying to slightly cross the
looks
line.
really white to me.
Still dunk.
Coming now.
Yep, go Duncan.
Still got a lot of curling to
Coming
do.
now.
Hard,
I want this to cross the centre.
hard. Just
Here
keep
it
moving,
goes.
just keep it moving, just keep it
Panel
moving.
it, guys.
Just keep it moving, just keep it, go. That's fine. Good enough.
Just double peel, here high nose. That side.
Not a bad spot. It's kind of. We maybe wanted a wee bit longer. Curl slightly more.
Callum can move the centres and roll to corner now, so he's got some cover if he ever gets access to the 2 on the button. But Ryan's ticked.
Just over curled.
Yeah.
Left the shooter there.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Not if you're just covering a piece.
This could be close out, couldn't it, Robin?
You can get rid of.
If you see a steal here, it could be
This could be
tricky.
close out.
medium. Still a few stones to come.
There are, and there's still a raise off the other side. But actually, the yellow's blocked a raise on this side, I think.
This is probably the nicer one to play, I would have said. Yeah, red on the left hand side there.
Yeah, except the yellows are kind of. You could still jam a yellow, and you need to get almost across the top of it.
Line's nice.
So it's the same line they've just played.
Line's
Trying
very
to just
good.
Tight to the rings.
tuck in behind the centre red.
Line's perfect.
Weight looks perfect.
Whoa. So let it come down. Yep, go then. Whoa. Go, we're there. We're there.
Dunk's really improved. He's always been a
Try
really
run
good
this
player.
into here. Just that.
One of the
Roll
most
your shooter,
talented
run this
guys I've
behind.
ever coached anyway, and he's progressing.
Peel.
And he's got into this team, that World Junior experience really fired him up. He loved that. So he's taking his opportunity.
The shoots look likes to play, you know. Big weight.
Just looks a bit high. Just not happening. And now they're in a whole heap of mess. Because it's already guarded, they're now putting the second guard on. Belton Brace's job. Going to be a red raise from Callum, I doubt. For one at best.
It's really just, you know, not quite getting the right side of what they're
I mean,
wanting.
they didn't even move the second stone
Yeah,
there, you know.
had to make contact.
Had to make contact.
Okay, line's nice. James, right now. Oh,
Does that mean that?
you in.
Good stuff.
Good job.
Shows them the outside edge.
Yeah, it's pretty nice there. Good, not too tight to the rings, you know, halfway guard.
That's it, it's perfect.
Keeps the separation.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Left as many as you can.
Yep, I think that's the only call you have, Callum. You can't hit the red now. You have to hope they can clear the centre. Hope they fail to guard it. Then you get a chance.
Really is backs against the wall, kind of just really struggling to get anything going. Could you move all four?
I couldn't, but some athlete could. You maybe could actually. Luke's got enough power. If they've hit the first one right, the rest will happen.
Close.
Moved 3 of them. Took out 2 of them.
At least shifted the kind of.
And we're only talking a fraction more curl, and you're moving that third one out of the way.
It has taken the back off that top yellow, so it makes it slightly easier to move.
It has.
Yeah, it stuffs. Yeah, that's fine.
The trouble is the promotion of the red now is tougher to get shot, I think, if they get the guard
It
on.
hangs there and it just curls.
Don't know what I needed. Left. Need to curl a wee bit.
Just an update from the girls' game after 6 ends. It's Bryce with a steal in the 6th end. Davey is 6-4 up after 6 with hammer and 7.
So at one point in that end, Lisa had 4 buried behind the centre. Too many in play. Bryce gets one round, a lot of them. Steal.
We can see that here.
What's the lesson, Robin? When you're up,
Don't
don't
stones in play.
complicate it.
Keep it
And
simple.
we saw Beth struggle a bit to close out her game. 8th end, 2 minutes stones in play. 10th end, 2 minutes stones in play. Loses a 3 both times, didn't she?
3 both times. This one's just not curling. Fraction deep. Bit of a mistake there.
I think it is. And gives Callum a little chance because he can roll in off that.
Hair high.
He can't. If he rolls in, I don't think he can take all 3, so you'd have to take it the other way. Because you can only roll in
Good judge.
He tries to
behind the double corner, and then he misses the back yellow.
Yeah, I don't know.
But maybe that's the shot you take. I don't think you can roll in that way. That's the shot I think you take and you roll there. And then you've won in the rings and you hope you get a shot at the singleton.
I don't think he plays the guard, though. He probably just comes round us. No.
I think that's your call for, and hope you get a shot at 2.
Control.
He's close to it. I think he's trying to.
Going across the face.
Yeah, it is.
Across the face, hit and roll behind the corner, move the top 2 yellows, and hope to get a shot at a 2. And I agree with this shot.
Well, it's the best chance to get 2.
It's the
I
only
don't see
chance.
it.
It's
Yeah.
the only chance, and you have to take a chance. And you could end up, losing the battle, but so be it. You've lost the game anyway.
Guard. Oh, you could lift the triple, but it's
This is perfect for us, I think.
yeah, hit and roll under. Give us an inch. Yeah. Control.
I don't know what he is trying. I really don't know.
Callum asking for a little more ice.
Not throwing much weight after to make
Not playing huge weight, just playing barrier. Needing it to move, needs
long way
it
to
to
go,
move,
long way
needs
to
it to
go.
move, needs it to move. Oh, I think Ross just guards up, Linda didn't bother.
Not a good result. Had to make sure we're rolling one way or the other.
Ross, Callum's only shot is the raise on the outside when according to Ross, for shot anyway.
That's almost not there.
The draw's not there now, turning it.
Try and get here. I think we just got this gap. I think it's easier shots to this port.
So he's trying to block the hole through the port. We're not right behind the sheet, but There must be a way through to the winner.
It's a question of what do you want to leave him. Do you want to leave him the draw, or do you want to leave him, you know, the run?
Well, he's rather leave him a raise, but he's trying to block the draw. Off that hand.
It was there, yeah. Really curls
Would you
hard.
come another way?
I think he's actually saying there's a between the two reds. You know, the red on the far side there and the red on the centre line. You could probably get to this one that's shot stone.
I agree. I thought he was trying. No, he's coming the other way to block the hole, though. I think because he's trying to block the hole between the reds. But I think this is a better hand to do it because off that banking it'll come winging in at the end. Remember we saw the girls trying this, trying to throw it over the centre line, corner guards over the centre line.
I was just thinking it's going to curl off the. We're going really wide out there. That's my biggest worry because someone said we get hair banked. I don't mind it.
Well, he's just talking about make sure to get the ice right here.
Yeah.
It's a crucial shot, you know. Wins the game if they make this place
It's not a
special.
shot they've played much, so it's a wee bit of it. But they know it's a big pull off this bank,
Do you like the ice here?
across the centre, into the space between the two reds.
It's a really good point though. It's not just up to the skip to make sure the ice is right. You know, each individual member of the team has to make
Front
sure.
ends often know these lines. They see these lines a lot. They should be sharing that info. Make sure it needs to be quite a positive release. I think if you soft this, it will curl even more. And it's got a good release and rotation on it.
Hair narrow. Dunk a wee bit.
Thinks he's narrow. Dunk's trying to keep it from swinging.
Oh, line's close. You in? You in?
Now they're trying to swing it over the centre line. So Ewan's on the outside, powering it down the hill. And it's very, very good.
It's well played, well judged by the sweepers.
It's very good.
Line call as well.
So
Good team shot.
red up, it's on the shot. And it's for one at best.
Good judge.
So he's trying to play a raised double takeout.
Struggling to get the inside of that.
Onto the, just high on the nose,
Yep.
yellow onto yellow. Lie one, take one.
Oh, it's a
Pretty tough to take a double hand stick, you know.
Tough shot this. I mean, it's virtually a nose hit, certainly. But
tough for his one, like. Still's massive, Get back there.
Smash hard.
it's higher line, and still a one for Roscoe.
9-3 up after 6.
Nice. Good end, boys. That was solid.
Just isn't quite going for the team, can you? Today.
No, but listen to Ross.
Really offensive for how far we are. Get started ripping. I don't know where we get ripped.
The thing is with the 5 roll,
Nice.
As I said, it's going to straighten up after 5 and it
It's almost
did.
attack, yeah.
He just went.
Right, so
It's a
9-3.
nice part line. It was just
6
made
up, 4 to go.
Nah.
That's exact
Yeah,
same.
you thought you too much ice.
Top
Just
4,
flat.
top 12.
So if you just listen to Team White's kind of mid-end break, they were talking about the last one, saying couldn't really bail and move the guards, you know.
Chose to guard.
Yep, worked out for them, and then
But Ross is really positive about the way his guys played that. You
Yep.
know, really solid, played a lot of good shots.
talked about the next end strategy, top 4, top 12.
Yeah. And to be fair to Callum's team, they're still thinking, what can we do here? It's good to see.
Anyone can drop that at the back. That'll do, yeah.
Last time down this way, Ian came up short twice, so
He did.
Team Clear probably got hope for the same again.
He came up well short and he came up just top 12 and I think he's made sure this is in, although they haven't the panel up to get it there.
It's not quite curled the same as the rest of them.
I mean, maybe they having to sweep that as a hard stop to come, but he's just made the top ring and that's okay for Callum. And he's going to guard that because he thinks he can use that as a guard later. So he's going to guard that stone to use that as cover later. In effect, that is a corner guard.
Yeah, they've been so high in the rings and the curls here, you know. anything top 12 is really is a guard.
Go round it easily.
Lots of room. Hard right in. Hard right.
Try to swing it over. Swing it over to protect it.
Keep going. Keep going.
Makes it.
I'd like to curl a wee bit more, but pretty good where it is.
There's either that one or this one, just to here and you roll out. I don't mind, I like red, but we just need to roll out. Death hack. What do you think, like there?
So we're just looking to tick the red here, and instead if they go past it and move the yellow, it's okay.
He said, make sure you roll out. So they're just trying to tick it, even if they tick it in the rings, it's okay.
Yep.
I think James is saying he's down a wee bit. But they cannot take this red completely out of play if it's in the free guard zone, so they're just trying to tick it.
Okay, that's fine.
I think they called it on the red, did they? No,
They
just
were
a wee bit high.
calling for the red and said if it came past to get the yellow, but
So you can take your own stone out, but you can't take the opposition stone out of the free guard.
the way it's worked out on the yellow, it's not worked out too good. Leaving it even higher in the rings now.
No. So Matthew's going the other side, I think. Trying to get some cover again. Trying to exploit that later in the end. This should finish big, though, although the Callum's thinking it's wide a line at the moment.
Get over that line. Hard. Hard. Keep going.
Trying to get as level as possible, I think.
Yeah.
Just rip this yellow.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Now you see Ross still can't hit a red off.
Can't take his own yellow,
He can
though.
take his yellow, which he's having to do.
Whoa.
Can't, so Callum, that is an absolute
Okay,
yahoo.
that's fine.
That's just a rush of blood job. Lost his composure a wee bit.
It's a chance Keane you're kind of hoping for.
That is a yahoo, and he's played so well up to
He
now.
hasn't missed
And
much.
just big drive out the hack, big throw back. You just have to play each shot his minutes, keep the rhythm of the game. Can't rush to the finish. You got to play one shot at a time. And just young guy, just getting excited, probably in a big surge of adrenaline.
See you in there, give him a wee tap on the back.
Well, it's
saying,
good
"Come
to see, and that's what we're talking
make the
about.
next one."
Greg's asked Ewan to take on that role and support Jamesy, and well done, Ewan. He did it. Did it when it was needed.
It's the curl. Can I go? Okay.
Good, Ryan.
It's an improvement on what we've seen so far.
I don't know what his percentage would be.
Single red.
I was just saying to pull a single guard there. Not worried about trying to lift any doubles
Yeah.
or
Simple shots now.
happy to give up 2 here.
Simple shots now.
Play the scoreboard. Well up in the game, give up 2.
There's a more controlled slide from James. So Ewan's little tete-a-tete's probably helped.
Nice throw. That was really
Good
nice.
stuff, boy. Good, settle him down after his first big one.
Yeah. I thought you were close, yeah, sorry.
Probably just got to keep throwing the guard back now. Wait for an opportunity to come round to the red guard.
Patience.
Patience. Something a lot of young people don't have, you know. Does it
Ah.
get better with age?
Patience and attention spans. That's what you lot don't have. It's all this Instagram nonsense.
Okay, you got room just now.
You're not on Instagram, man.
I'm not on Instagram,
You're on Twitter.
nor shall I be.
You're on Twitter though, aren't you?
Looks more than
Yeah,
that.
but I don't know how to work it.
Well, we need to curl.
Apparently I've got a Twitter handle, which I've no idea what that actually means.
Okay.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
No.
Good judge, Marsh. Good judge.
Are you playing that? Are you playing that?
The marketing department have tried to educate me, but
It's a tough task.
they've given up.
Don't envy them.
You know, start using words like Trello and Twitter and Spotify, and it's all too much.
Whoa! Nothing ever. Okay.
Just a little wild all of a
You
sudden.
haven't even thrown it.
Yeah,
We go here, the
just a few ends of the game. 7th end.
Funny, I think the last end was really controlled from White, but it just got a little wild.
Make them level.
We would rush of blood with the big ones.
I think
quite-
that.
quite
I mean,
easy
Dunky
to
was
play,
big weight
yeah.
there. Jamesy was big weight there, and Ron's not called big weight. Just just
Your
got
normal strike.
He's icing for what he's expecting, not for
Probably ripping it in this way,
not for
but
big weight.
like that ice. It's not curling as much as earlier.
They're going round behind.
Yeah, they're making the move now.
As long as
Round
we're
behind.
Third's first.
Yep. Probably have to go now. You made the point earlier. 2's probably not enough. Needs to be a 3.
Where?
Hey, update on the Gillis game, Robin.
Yeah, Team Davy managed to convert with a hammer in that 7th end. Taking
a
3.
3 to go 9-4. 5 up.
Should be hot with the split I've got.
3 ends to go. So, and that's just through the back, and that is just not going to do it.
Big mistake there from Luke.
Just not going to do it.
If you're going to make the move, you're going to have to make sure.
You got to make
a
shots.
must
You
make.
got to make shots, and they haven't made shots.
When
They
will you
haven't got
like?
their A game today.
Just open to hitting the stick here.
Just playing a controlled barrier now.
Run!
Ewan's just nursing it down, keeping it clean.
Jim! Hard! Hard! Get it moving, get it moving, get it moving. Nice shot.
Been really impressed with the control of the sweeping from
James.
Team White today. You know,
They do a lot of team sessions.
communication, knowing when to
that's
sweep.
not a fluke. That's hard work and time together on the ice, and a focused practice session. You know, really learning things, not just winging them up and down.
Nice second from it.
Close line.
Really nice.
Because
Close. Yep.
So those of you who do want to get a hold of Rambo's
that's my handle.
Twitter handle,
Thanks very
it is
much.
in the comments
Well,
on the
don't
live
expect
stream.
any response, people, because I frankly have no idea how it works. So you'll be if you can email me, conventional email, I can manage that,
It's not quite good.
and I respond within the hour.
Okay, nice throw.
Peel.
Not even during the evening, without out with-
24/7,
24/7?
24/7. Pathway manager, dedication.
Next in your first.
Heard it here first.
Close is left, save ice.
That'll be you buying into what it takes to win, is it?
I try to. Just, you've got to balance that with these youngsters and other things. Got to get their education. Have to get their education. Apprenticeship or university, I don't mind. They have to get their education because, it's a pretty fickle business being in sport. You can be deselected, you can take an injury, you can, not fit in a team. There's a whole lot of things that happen. So you've got to look after them. They're people before they're curlers.
Nice shot there from Ross. Just picking the stone out and rolling away.
See what it is like. We've got a minute. We've got a minute to talk about it. We just need to score. We've got hammer now. Got hammer twice.
Ross is still really, really planning.
Yeah, still thinking about the end to
Still
come.
really planning.
Just kind of slid her hair high. Just jump
It's
up
just,
over
he's
the
just
keeper.
matured such a lot.
Worked.
Going away as fifth man at European, learning a lot from Mount. Rubbing shoulders with David and Alan Hanna, who's been really instrumental in his progress. And he's maybe the real deal.
Lots of room.
It's a fair statement.
Well,
Switch.
Not far.
Oh, double. Just jumping it again.
Callum's not happy with that
he's
one.
getting frustrated. And he's just thinking the sweepers are jumping on
Penalty
it
fast.
early.
I'm trying to throw it lighter.
Barrier.
Just jumped it and it just went like that.
And is that, Matthew's very young compared to the
Maybe
front
go
end
more
of the
than
other team.
I thought.
Anxious to go on early, and if you go on early, your stone runs straighter, doesn't finish
Yeah,
the game.
just with the power of the sweepers, just managed to kick it back on the line.
Matthew's a very, very good sweeper, powerful sweeper, but if you go on early, you knock it back and it just never finishes.
Like that ice. Yeah, that's max. Yeah, right.
It's still mostly buried, so it's not an easy shot for Ross here. Still an outside chance of 2.
Yeah.
Close. Close.
So, when you hear the call of close, you know you're good.
Hard. Hard. Hard, right to it, right to it.
Tails up, playing well.
Even
Hangs
managed to
about.
hang on around as well.
Hangs about.
Good sweep. Good sweep.
Where's Kerr Drummond? Is he in Calgary now? Is he still in Canada?
Could well be.
Greg's younger brother. And I agree with his comments. Well, if you can't blow your own trumpet, who's going to blow it for you? Eh?
Okay, just need to score.
That's what my granny used to tell me.
Could you still live by it?
It's been my mantra. So he's trying to get a hide, trying to get a roll in a hide.
It's not a stone rumble, I think we'll just be sticking
I
for
beg your pardon, he's just trying to hit the thing. I got fair carried away with my granny's comments. And he does. One.
You got the hide though.
What? Brilliant. So he's
Score here.
here, Ross, scored here.
What are you thinking?
Scored here. 5 down, scored here. Game's over. And if they do score here, I imagine the game will be over.
Okay.
I'm afraid so.
So, last plug, development manager Ian Stewart, really reactive in university student curling, trying to sign you all up to the student tri-curling day on March the 13th. Any of you students in Stirling, Aberdeen, Edinburgh that are still sober after Freshers Week, get signed up on tricurling.com and come along and enjoy it. And we've taken our marketing team on the ice and they enjoyed it, and we've taken our streaming crew on the ice and they enjoyed it, so you can come and enjoy it too. So get signed up, tricurling.com, come and see if it's for you.
Here. Okay, let's make them, boys. Yeah.
Has been a dominant performance here from Team White. Hasn't been quite been put under pressure though from Team Kinnear.
No,
Just not quite making the shots. And
Team Kinnear will be disappointed. Bad start, one loose shot from Ryan at first end, lose a 3. Lost a 3 the first end last year. You know, just a right dunt from the word go.
Easy. Right.
probably see a tick from you in here, do you think?
Over up, you're good.
I think they'll try it. This is a shot that,
Top 8.
oh, wants to score, get one in first.
I suppose being that far up in the game, don't really need to worry about taking it.
No, but Ross did say let's score here, so if he was, it was the last end and you were wanting to take a win to win the game, you'd be taking that, but you're 5 up, so he's just trying to consolidate, get a stone in here. I think we'll see them move in the centres as soon as they get the opportunity.
Yep, hard.
They've just left that short though. They could have taken that further.
Centre.
I think it's just iron, they went on it at the end there.
Did a bit.
Just on the slide pass, maybe.
Did a bit. Yeah, absolutely. So where the players have been sliding out a lot, the pebble tends to get worn. The pebbles are little dimples that we play on. So where the players slide out a lot, that pebble tends to get worn more. And then the stones, if they come down that path in the opposite direction, slow down very quickly.
You think you're round, yes, but harder. Stop. Looks now. As you said, what does there? Didn't kill yourself, but that's fine. Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Good separation, good line-up. Yellowstone actually might help the Reds.
We'll have to come round it again now.
Round everything.
I thought that. Top 8, touching fourth, it's perfect.
So lefty off the other hack. It's a slightly different response. It might actually be easier to get round in this hand for him.
Line's nice. Line's perfect. Top 8. Yes.
Definitely having to throw it a wee bit harder, Robin. It looks a little slow, guys.
Line's perfect. Line's. Oh, don't go too far. No.
He's nailed it. Finish. Look at the finish.
It's a very nice shot there. It's a tough one to play. Can't go back to you. Can't leave it side by side with the top man.
So it's interesting now because while Callum needs the guards, Ross is playing so well. He's in strong position.
Just bump this back button.
So Ryan trying a similar shot, but off the other hat, get an earlier curl.
Doesn't want to move this too far, just behind the
his,
ceiling.
how does that ice compare to the ice Ewan got? Is that slightly more?
Not an awful lot more. He's trying to play a slightly more weight.
Slightly more weight, I get that. But
Close. Yep. Yes. Whoa. Yep. Hard is good.
it's a lovely weight. If the kid, it's a lovely weight.
Hard. Whoa. Looks. Whoa.
That's a good shot, Ryan.
Nice shot.
That's a good shot. That's a harder shot than he's had, and he's made it. He missed some easier shots than that early. Don't know, just didn't settle in early.
About time you turned off, eh?
Wee comment there from Callum just saying about time you turned up, so
Didn't say that, did he?
he did.
No, it wasn't.
And Ryan's agreed with him. They get on really well, which is great. They really enjoy playing together, which is great too. And they're a great bunch.
Double peel, they would have hoped to have rolled the shooter with that one. Just left it where it is. See the guard go back, do you think?
Yep.
Just tight. Halfway tight.
So, well, there's a big moment on Gill's game. Amy Bryce is drawn against 2,
Yep, line.
which I think is a must make as well. So we'll try and keep you. We'll give you a post on the Gills game as soon as we can. Last stone of the 8th end. Amy Bryce drawn against 2. Needs to make it, or she's going to go a long way behind.
Fine.
Probably the single.
Single peel again, Robin. Just simple
Yeah.
shots. See it through.
Doesn't need to do anything too special.
But if you just take single here, you can weld now. He singles again. Probably going the run though.
Yep. Clean.
Amy Bryce is light. Loses a 2.
I like.
That is a steal of 2 for Lisa Davey.
So it's 11-4 after 8. 11-4.
James Craig making the single peel, just like he was asked. And Callum's going to come round here and try and weld the one back of the button.
And a shake hands in the game. Those games finished. So Lisa Davey has won 11-4 and will represent Scotland at the Worldies in Liverpool, Nova Scotia. So that's a great comeback from them after losing the World V final in December. They've now come back and earned the right to represent Scotland at the World A's, and there's some emotional scenes over there. Hopefully we'll get a chance to speak to the girls later.
Back to the boys' game, and that's an absolutely brilliant shot there from Luke Carson. Perfectly frozen on the one back of the forefoot.
Ross is still clear in the front. Clear in the front.
Whoa. Yep.
It's interesting because Ross played very aggressively at this end, didn't he? And he's got in a bit of a mess now.
He has.
Okay.
Came round early and
And I thought he was lying well.
yep.
And now Ryan played a good shot, Luke played a good shot, and got in.
Still
And
one then, please.
Just Putting the centre guard back.
I think
Just try and cover it all.
Yeah, he's line one welded, so I mean obviously they can draw on top of that, but if Callum can protect this for a bit longer, there's a definite chance of a steal, which will see the game extended anyway.
Looks a fraction heavy. Sweeper's not want to touch it. Should come down though. Should hopefully sit. That gives Duncan a chance to shift them all.
Half stone.
Half stone, shifts everything, I think.
Definitely move everything above the tee line anyway. Don't know if we'll touch the two sitting just behind it.
Must be slightly tight. Getting it a bit thick. Still going to move a lot though.
That's a pistol. Nice shot, Donkey. Good throw.
Finishes top four, in line, nothing out front.
Callum Gates on the centre though. It's kind of quite a tough one to move for Ross with the way it's rolled to.
Well, Ross is not going to miss that race takeout.
Nice shot, mate.
I think we're just ripping.
Started yelling.
Just turn on to it. Close steal once.
He just peels.
Not when Donkey, you're peeling like
Maybe try to get inside weld another one. Just hope for this.
Just wondering if they need to. I think they're thinking to
Yeah,
do they need to even be more aggressive here?
Shot to not give us a slash to lose one.
Aye,
If we lose one here, we're happy, I think.
Don't really want to touch it.
We try and score one way.
Harsh if anything. Easy. Where are we? Line's fine, easy. Hard cover. Hard line.
Good line up, good line, and good length.
Good line,
actually.
yeah, not too tight.
Alright, Donkey, sweeping it back.
Fifth race takeout of the day.
I think it's just a straight peel rumble, isn't it?
Straight peel.
Single, and he's going to have to put it in some ridiculous place.
What was that? Single peel.
And then try raise. The Ross back, is it?
The Ross back. I don't know how I was surprised. You see the race takeouts are made so much more often now, haven't they? I mean, standard of play has gone up.
Yep.
Standard of sweeping's gone up.
Yep.
So race tickets are 10 a penny.
You want to get Craig down?
Are you going to call?
I think he's going to call a timer
There's
here.
nothing like a good timeout, especially when a waddle goes down.
Craig down, getting the telly.
Gets it.
Craig, I
That's
think that's
Callum,
a
yeah.
timeout.
And I don't believe it. He's refused to be in the limelight. I don't know what's happened to the boy. Crisis of confidence.
Just soft it. Just go back to old school, 2015.
Well, we could have had a really enjoyable 60 seconds, folks, but I'm sorry to disappoint now.
Oh well. I'm certainly disappointed. I would like to hear what you had to say.
Don't think this does us any good then. I get in, just like squeak by.
So,
I think you should try and come down and weld this one. Try and lie two. Oh, Ross. Going to try and get this one to go sideways.
well, he's certainly out in a wide line, but it's going to move huge, and Callum's in turn can move huge, you better believe it.
Hard cuddle then.
So just swing it for the guard now. Swing it for the guard now. Swing it for the guard. Go on, Ryan. Go on, Ryan. Still giving it all he's got, Ryan.
Yeah.
Good lad.
Very good throw for it.
Probably thinking like here.
So Ross is going for the straight draw.
I mean, I like playing on. Set up a good end, they're getting complacent. Still two at the next.
Yeah.
So what are we bang on T-line, boys? I think this is a
What
shot.
else are you doing this afternoon?
The button's there for the take. Yeah, for the shot.
I think Callum's just asking Ryan then what else are you doing this afternoon, so may as well just keep going.
He asked him what?
What else are you going to do this afternoon?
Well, he thinks the opposition are getting complacent, so maybe he's going to carry on.
Oh, one more. May as well.
I think we're going to get another end.
I think we are. Although I think he's trying to persuade Ryan.
Wait, I'm Looks there. Stay close.
I think it's there, isn't it? Well, they sit down.
Dunk.
Looks pretty close.
Yep.
Supers are liking it.
They've lost it. They've lost it. They've lost it. They've lost it. That's just fudging. Slide line fudge.
Gotta make sure you pass first.
Slide
That's
line fudge.
Crucial. Crucial.
I'm looking for reassurance. Was that a slide line?
Quite
fudge?
possibly, David.
Thanks very much.
We are getting another end.
So what are they?
Need to make that one, though.
They're 4 down.
4 down, 2 to play.
How would you try and plan it?
We're a wee bit down on time, so.
Well, you got steal at least that too.
Same
You've got
again.
to steal 2 twice, haven't
Score
you?
here.
Yeah.
It's a tough ask. But it's not impossible.
That's one. Took the word right out of my mouth.
Yep.
It's a tough ask.
If you're wanting some good watching, you can go to the Team White Facebook page, and there's some pretty good video coverage from there. If you want to see some comedy of some 2 players falling over.
Don't sweep it, just over
Indeed.
good.
Yeah, in the same end.
Same end, same shot.
It's very exciting. And the other thing is if you're in Aberdeen, for sure, why not come in and see this wonderful ice arena we have at Curl Aberdeen. They're mad keen to have you introduced to curling. Very happy to take anybody from age 8 to 80. So come and try curling at Curl Aberdeen if you're in the area. Local coaches and try curling sessions. Go on the Scottish Curling website or go onto the Curl Aberdeen website and get signed up and come and have a go.
You can also watch today's games back on our Facebook page. They will be left there, so you can go and watch them again if you've enjoyed the coverage.
You and trying to tick just a bit thick on the stone so everything, the yellow gets removed, the red gets replaced because you cannot take it out of play until the 6th stone of the end. So Callum now
Yeah, that's cool. Alright, that's fine.
Callum now has going to put the second guard on round the back of that one.
Close.
Jim's asked about the wheelchair worlds and maybe somebody else can answer that if we're going to be streaming that. Are we, Jamie? Well, there's a lot of heads nodding up and down, Jim. So, in fact, there's 3 heads nodding up and down, and they're all from the right department. So I'm pretty sure it's going to happen.
Oh, line good. Really good setup, Marsh. Nice.
Touch and forfeit.
I believe it'll be the semis, bronze, and gold medal match from the World Wheelchairs will be covered.
Thank you, Robin. Hot off the press.
Hot off the press. Heard it here first.
Hair high. Wide right now. Skip. Curl. Hard. Hard, go. Help him dunk, help him
So
dunk.
Ewan missing the tick with his first one, being asked to come around top 4 with the next.
And makes it
Aye, perfect. Nice move.
Made it pretty good.
perfect.
Pretty good. Can't give him too much confidence.
Ross White described it as perfect, and that'll do for me.
Can't go chasing perfection, Rambo.
I've warned you about that.
Only excellence.
It'll destroy you. Go for excellence. You see some, I'm quite sincere about that. You see some of the youngsters I coach are so focused on being perfect, and they end up relentlessly practicing and getting frustrated in it, and it's not good. Just
I think we're a bit of a pick up there.
certainly gone sideways.
Fine night.
Try that. Single's fine.
It's funny how those things seem to have happened all to Team Kinnear, who've been down and been struggling, and it's
Going to try and peel the guard, but try and hopefully get the one in the rings as well, I think.
well, that's a much more controlled slide, which I'm good to see. And after he had the big Yahoo a couple of ends ago, he's now got himself back under control, taking his time, pre-shot routine, throwing the weight Ross expects.
Good enough. Nice throw.
Just wanting the long guard put back on. Key is to keep the separation.
Going down the swingy side.
Not marsh. Not marsh. Yep. Line's good. Hard for over. Come on. Hard.
It's got to be over.
Good.
Now, well done. Still giving it leather, despite the scoreline and despite what must be disappointing, but still giving it everything they've got. Good to see.
Get him. You wasn't expecting that yet. Well, we'll just make a back 4 on this soon.
Yep. Go.
Here's a nose.
Off.
Nah,
Okay.
not quite. And just put it back, look.
Guard again.
Yes.
Just patience. Patient then.
Wait to make the move later in the
Try and
end.
make a play. Try and get round, chip it back. Maybe even to lie 2 and just see, hope that Ross maybe makes an error.
Just over, looks hot.
Again, mentioning.
Okay, back here then. Nah, it's digging. Hard right. Get it in line with it, hard. Hard, sweet. Hard. Good.
Good
Amazing. It's a
guard.
harder double rip
Good
when you're
lineup.
right in line, eh?
Good lineup.
Well,
That looks high, Robin.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty thin. Hit it though.
Main objective was peel guard. Bonus is getting them on the rings as well.
Objective done.
That's fine, as long as you cut.
Now Callum's making the play now, trying to chip the yellow and roll wide.
Throw the guard again if you want.
What do you think? Right time to do it?
Um,
Wait one shot.
Get out the 8 foot.
I think you'll get something going. Even if you can just move it slightly.
So,
Yeah,
here's
I
that.
think it's going to be tough.
Come round on the outturn side.
Say they make this shot and they roll open and not yellow to the back house. They're lying 2. They might get a shot round the centre.
Close. Yep. Oh. Yes. Hard. Hard. Whoa, whoa.
So Luke's going for a chip back on the yellow. Really controlled sweep and looks like he's made it. What a good shot.
Brilliant shot.
Really good shot.
Lies to it.
And I think that must have fudged in the rings, did it?
Must have picked up, I think.
Well, that'll teach him to get his brush sweep down and sweep a bit harder. He'll learn his lesson this time.
Close to the same as your last throw.
So, clear the top one and try and slash across the house, Robin.
I think he is. He's going to try and get rid of this one
so
again.
try and hit the centre guard, but make contact with the winger at the same time.
It's quite thin. Yeah, it's quite thin.
Well, it's. He must be high a line again, I think. It's going over the face. Oh, makes it. Takes a lot of the pressure off. The boy can play.
Real good throw, Donkey.
Put it here left.
Interesting, damn it, how Dunkey was playing with Callum last year. And they got on really well.
Still good friends. Still
They're
playing Super League.
enjoying
Yeah.
18th birthday and all that sort of stuff. And you know, there's rivals on the ice, but it's great to see them all progress together. The whole squad progressing together. And get a nucleus of good curlers to pass on to David Murdoch and the national squad.
I just think. Halfway. I think he's chasing us. As long as he's guarding us. Robertson. Aye. Whoa.
What's happened here? That must have picked in his hand, didn't it?
I think it did, yeah.
No, just pretend it grabbed. I fell.
So it wasn't a pickup.
That must have been one of the waddle techniques to disguise a poor slide, I think. Yeah. Good man, waddle. Just
Simple. Try out angle.
Made the guard.
Fair play for the slide, like.
I'll throw it pretty
Made the
hard.
guard.
Just make sure we go.
So I just must have lost his balance, I think, and then
Yeah, he just lost the balance and then
corrected it and
made it
released
look like a
and-
pick.
Just
Well,
make sure
released
we
it
go
well.
the
And
way.
so don't panic if you fall over. You can still make the shot.
So
Try to
late
run,
foot,
but
buddy.
mainly.
So can't lose that one.
Ever happened to you, Rambo?
Often, but I really made the shot.
Sorry. Oh, put it on the D-line. Easy.
Just a single peel.
Yeah.
Thanks, that's close to those.
Yep.
There's a chance.
So,
Chance, you've never seen them.
so Dave Duff's asking, on really swingy ice, Dave, we need 4 complete rotations at draw weight, or if you put less rotations on, the stone will cut a lot more, curl offline a lot earlier. So on this, particularly this kind of ice in Aberdeen where it's big swings, 4 complete rotations
Stupid for playing on
at draw weight. So the stone should look like it really is turning. If you with a lazy handle, you'll get a huge swing. It will often draw right off the sheet. Hope that helps answer it.
First mistake we've seen from Ross there. Stuffed it on. Good chance for Cam to come round the back.
Better slide this time.
Pretty lucky that.
Weight looks good because it needs to be. I think it is slowing, so a little fudgy.
Oh, line's good.
So
Easy, run. Line.
It's all up to the sweepers now.
needs to put, needs to bury, needs to bury. Mash is giving it a big stick. Captain's had a good game, you know.
Played well. He has played well. Made a lot of good
He's had a
shots.
really good game, and actually they've played better the last 2 ends, maybe. Ryan's made more shots.
So, the Ross back. Can he lift the double?
Blast that away. Blast that away.
Do you think that way?
Or can you see a piece? Can
I
you see a
think
piece?
he's seen a piece. I think
pick
he's
it.
just going
Just
to pick
pick it.
one out.
Give up one.
I think that's what he's doing. And this is not a cinch.
It's down that centre line.
Not a cinch.
Clean.
Makes it.
Nice shot.
Makes it.
It's not
Steal
an
a
easy
one
shot to
though. Steal a one. I think we've got the final. We've got a 10th end anyway on our hands. But steal a three's a tough ass, but you got to try. So we're going to see loads of stones in play, I think. So if you've enjoyed the live stream, why not come and watch live curling? Scottish Championship Finals, 16th of February, Dewars Centre, Perth. Make a day of it. Both finals, girls and boys. £15. Have a lunch. Come and watch this and feel the atmosphere in the ice rink. Dewars Centre, 16th of February, 2019.
As long as we're not leaving 2 corners, really. Actually, no, I think we're through.
It's the last end of this Scottish Junior Final 2019.
Yeah. It's strange it's gone to 10 ends actually, the way the scores have gone.
Yeah.
And you know, Ross has dominated the game bar the last 2 ends maybe. And maybe it just shows you with the 5 rockets hard to stay ahead. There's going to be stones in play. And they set a really high standard at the start of the game, and maybe it was too much to ask them to go right through at that level, but
I'll let you catch it.
so there's a throw through. What's he done that for, Robin?
Doesn't need to worry about scoring, just
So,
to stop Callum from taking
no
the swing.
stones in play.
No stones in play.
What will he do with his second one, do you think, Robin?
Toss it through the rings again, I think.
So
And then just start peeling guards.
Yeah, so they're 3 ahead, and we saw a girls' game this morning where they had loads of stones in play,
Yep.
despite being two
It
ahead.
was a bit different, I think, in the girls' game. They were just two up and without the hammer.
But if you remember, there was 5 or 6 up at one point.
Yeah, there
and
were.
Loads of stones in play. So you take a risk.
Yep. Hard is good. Keep going. Keep going.
It's a good setup by Mash. Good setup.
Just thinking, maybe we should have thrown 2 corners. It's a wee bit late now.
Well, we'd have to agree. Well, you could still throw the 2 corners.
Well, you could. Probably leave a double. With the way we've thrown the centre now.
Oh, I don't know. Ewan's liable to take his skip out winging them down at that rate, but
He never gets to throw a hit, so leave him alone. Just a rush of blood.
I remember he threw a hit. Remember the second end at Aberdeen? You remember that? And he's made a comment, that's why I never played 2. Do you remember?
It was against Norway, was it
Against Norway.
Oh, against
And he
Norway.
made this howler. Oh, that's why I don't play 2 very often. That must have been...
Just stick to the drawing.
Close line. Looks hot.
So really, Team Kinnaird are just looking for a few misses, really, aren't they?
Well,
Need
they have
two,
to,
three
they
misses.
need 2 mistakes, don't they, I think. 2, and they need to play perfect end and 2 mistakes. And, well, you know, it's not likely, but it's not impossible.
Okay.
Oh, it's okay. It's round and you can get stones in on top of it hidden. Oh, must be seeing a wee bit of it. So look at the finish at the end. It's coming right out on the other side of these guards.
Singles now.
So single peel, Robin. Keep
Yeah.
it simple. You run them out of stones, they have to regard. You peel it, you run them out of stones. They need to remember, they need to put 3 in the rings
They've
at
got
the
to come in
end.
pretty early.
They've got to put 3 in the rings, so they cannot, you know, just run through stones. They have to put them in, and if they don't get them perfect, you're getting them out.
You either go there, because if you go there, I don't think they're playing the run. Top 4.
I think what Callum's really looking for is to make Ross face through with his last and
Yeah,
really hope for
you hope.
a miss.
You hope for a miss, and we just hope there's no unfortunate, you know, bad luck. You know, we want the guys to play well to win. So Callum just has to try and set it up, and if they get a miss, good luck to them.
That is now. Hard. Hard. Needs to be 4 foot. Hard. Never off it.
I don't know. Ryan suddenly started to play. It's extraordinary.
Okay, it's not hellish.
Might have been a better game if it turned up from the start.
Singles fine.
Yeah. So what's the explanation for that? I mean, I just don't know.
Pressure off a bit as soon as you're down in the game.
I don't know. Sure, they went through the same preparation, and through Wadley had them doing the same things.
Just roll that way. Oh no, we just need singles.
So yeah, Ross just saying we need singles, but Callum has to protect what he's got now. But they've got them in a good line-up, so one guard will protect both.
Just halfway centre. Good. Where? You have a weld it. March hard, Curl. Go hard, Curl.
It'll sit down. It'll sit. It'll sit.
Yep. Oh,
That's pretty good, Luke.
okay, fine.
Wee bit. No, that's pretty good.
Sorry. Nice mark.
Just a little close. I think they're just going single, are they, Robin?
Yeah, there's no need to take the double.
No.
No need to try and risk it.
Well, you risk missing it, don't you, if you try to sweep? It's like too clever a sweep.
Leave a centre guard.
God,
Tough on.
Dunk's throwing big weight at it.
Nice throw.
They can do that effortlessly.
Halfway.
You're just jealous.
Well, I am a bit, but somebody we're going to need to have a lot more power, a lot more power. Boys and girls, they're going to have to have a lot more power with 5 rock rule. And they've got it to burn, so even Crakey can wind it up when he needs to.
See, they got to go back. Pull another single peel.
Yeah. Just run them out of stones and just patiently do
Line's
it.
okay. Halfway.
don't
Try and win it too early.
No, just patiently do it. Don't get too wound up. Go through the same rhythm of the game.
Gotta go. Get over that line. Get over the line. Come on.
It's great the boys are still working hard. I mean, it's you think it's just about a lost cause, but they're still trying hard to do it. I think it's Luke's last year. It's under 22, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is.
It is Luke's last
Has
year.
Duncan overthrown this?
It's Luke's last year, so oh man alive, gets the back one. Right, you got to bury 2 round the back of this, Callum, and that's
Aye, have to.
That's the worst goal I've ever seen from Duncan.
there's a question. Jimmy, you want me to answer the question? If a team should score more than 12, you simply put the end score back to the other end. So if they scored 14, you would put end numbers 10 in this case at the 2. So you've got 12 plus 2, 14. And actually we've been close to being over 12 some of the games. Been high scoring some of the games.
Credit to the 5-rock rule, I think.
Well, yeah, and that's how we cope with that, rather than having a scoreboard that crosses 2 sheets, which would be needed for some of the games I played against Robin Halliday. 18-1, Curry Cup, 1922, between the wars. Robin's never recovered.
Just blast this one, we can see. Catch guards, alright?
So just going to blast the one he can see. If he takes a guard, he takes a guard. I think he's quite happy.
Yeah, yeah,
Blast the one we can see. If not,
yeah.
I'll give this one to you, Duncan.
Been a pretty courageous fight back, I think, by Kinnear. They really have. The last 3 ends they've played so much better. Oh man alive. Does it matter?
I think he's done just enough.
Does it matter? No. Does it matter? No.
Nose. Can you ever get a split on that long one? Nah, is it not there?
No, it's 5 feet out, Callum. It's no 5 inches out. He's still hoping to bring that wing red into play, but it's a forlorn hope, I'm afraid. He's just got to put the third one in the ring, split them up a bit, and hope Ross misses. So he played a little bit of weight, bump these reds around, I think. Try and get a hole that Ross might go through. Doesn't look heavy, actually.
Ah, you're all right.
Doesn't look heavy enough to bump them much.
He's got to play a shot. It's putting him up.
Callum's now giving the commentary.
We'll just be quiet then.
Well, even I wouldn't miss that target. I could play my intern and hit them.
Steady on.
Just clean this the whole way, Duncan.
Last stone in the final.
Last stone. What a lovely stone to have, eh?
I throw it at a wall.
Throw it at a brick wall.
So what did you have to make to win your Scottish Championship? I know it's hit, but...
Callum is doing the commentary.
Oh.
I know, right in a perfect line.
Yeah, well played, guys. Deserve to win.
Nice shot.
Yeah.
Well played. Great final.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, thank you, everyone. That brings the conclusion of the game. As you can see, convincing win for Ross White. 4 shots, 10-6. Thanks very much for your company, for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the commentary. I hope we've been able to explain a little about the game. And we hope we'll see you at the Scottish Finals in Dure Centre in February. So thanks for watching. Goodbye from us in Aberdeen.
Goodbye.
I know, I just like throw it in that way.